Part 207. Reborn as an interstellar giant mosquito. Author, Bulletin U. Chapter 2065. It takes a genius to remember the address of this website in 1 second, fastest update. No ads. The most important thing is that the two star cascades have started to join forces, planning to attack the Yin-Yang sect's dispatched fleet first, and then go to the Yin-Yang sect to cause trouble for Yin-Yang. Above the starry sky, it is always about interests. For the strong, although they have always been enemies before, as long as an existence appears that can make both strong men feel a sense of crisis, then these two originally a strong enemy will turn into an ally in an instant. Not to mention other people, even Jia Yan has done this kind of thing. So in this regard, these two stars did nothing wrong. The only thing they were wrong about. I found the person Yin-Yang, because Yin-Yang is not just Yin-Yang. His true body is a middle-level galaxy being that is much stronger than them. Even a few injured galaxy-level mid-levels are not something that stars like them can deal with, not to mention that the strong men in this star field are still weak in combat ability. Buzz buzz. Above the starry sky, Ryan and others used the starry sky passage to fly, and the journey was extremely smooth. Ever since the star-level absentee force was recaptured, the entire starry sky seemed to have seen something unbelievable. Every time they passed by, a large number of local strongmen or high-level officials would come out to greet them. King Master of Yin-Yang sect. And in the process, in order to make his fleet no longer so shabby, Ryan named a few semi-star level followers. Although there were still so many battleships in the entire fleet, the half-star level experts reached after 5 positions. The formation has improved by more than 1 step in a short period of time. Throughout the starry sky, the recent name of Yin-Yang sect's third disciple Ryan has instantly become extremely famous. Ryan, the original leader of the Solar Maintenance Force, has also been found out by others. Everyone gradually peels off the Yin-Yang sect from a mysterious force that emerged from the sky, and has done almost everything new. It turns out that all the disciples in the Yin-Yang sect were completely transformed in less than 2 months because of the appearance of a strong man. Their previous status was either farmers or lowly, solar maintenance forces wandering in the stars. In addition, the strength of these beings was only greatly enhanced after joining the Yin-Yang sect. The sect leader of the Yin-Yang sect, Yin-Yang, actually has such a miraculous ability to turn decay into something magical. All the creatures in the starry sky are full of hostility and a little bit of expectation towards the Yin-Yang section. They are expecting that if they join the Yin-Yang sect, they can also get everything that all the Yin-Yang sect disciples get. But those semi-star level beings who hold great power and have high status are not very willing to give up their rights. If the Yin-Yang sect had not fought on the main star of that star level force, maybe they would not have chosen give up your position and surrender. But things didn't work out. Ryan had already used the power of the meteorite explosion to make the semi-star level creatures in the entire starry sky change their expressions. Everyone knew that this was a mere middle-level disciple of Yin and Yang. Is a cold-faced and ruthless creature. Don't even think about talking to him about kindness. He will not care about you being stronger than him. He only knows to carry out the orders of his master. Ha ha ha. The third disciple is really a generous person. This makes me feel relieved. From now on, our 100 screen star will be the Yin-Yang sect and the planet under the banner of Master Yin-Yang. It's best to do it naturally. You guys know each other well. On this day, Ryan carried his hands and 2 paws on his back and looked at the half-star in front of him indifferently. He was extremely flattering and respectful to him above the starry sky. His whole demeanor was like a habit. Even half-star level creatures are still invincible to him. Even with 1 blow, he will be torn to pieces, but he is not afraid at all. Because Master Yin-Yang told him earlier that as long as he was in danger, the remaining explosive meteorites would be activated automatically. As long as there was no attack from the top of the star, these 2 meteorites would have time to rescue him. Although saying he is the pinnacle of a star feels a bit bragging, Ryan has gradually accepted his master's words completely. After all, what Jia Yan said and what he did proved that what he said was completely true. Correct, without the slightest bit of bragging. So Ryan gradually became less panicked about facing half a star class and having them kneel before his eyes. A leader of a low-level force who used to wander in the interstellar world and could only become the leader of a wandering force, today actually changed his identity as a street rat and transformed into a powerful sect figure in terms of ability and demeanor. Feel. This transformation is so fast that people cannot imagine it. Come here. In the future, you don't have to go back to your own planet for the time being. I will send people up here to take over the planet. You will serve as my temporary guard for the time being. This is. When Ryan told the opponent to come inside his fleet as he was accustomed to do, the half-star class and his venerable class subordinates who knelt down hesitated for a while, and then reluctantly accepted this fact. After all, they thought that after surrendering, they would still have time to return to their own planet, then deal with their property and sort out most of the supplies before leaving the planet. Unexpectedly, they would follow Ryan now. But it won't work if they don't obey. Because even if Ryan didn't use the legendary method of destroying 4.5 stars and nearly 1,000 battleships with one blow, even if he used the strength of the 5.5 stars behind him, it would be enough to defeat their power. The whole thing was destroyed. So it's better not to resist with force. One more half-star level, so there are 6.5-star levels. Senior brother Ryan's skills and rhetoric skills are extraordinary, so he is the only one who has taken refuge in him. I am admired by my subordinates. While Ryan was talking to himself, the half-star who surrendered to the Yin-Yang sect and served as Ryan's guard along the way actually stood aside and flattered Ryan. Originally, this person was a bit arrogant and ignored Ryan, but after seeing the explosion of the meteorite, and then seeing him receive many semi-stars who were more powerful than him one after another, suddenly, he panicked. Then, this semi-star changed his previous aloof attitude and immediately lowered his posture, calling Ryan my lord and himself his subordinate. This is taking sides. After all, if Ryan is a disciple of Master Yin Yang in the future, this identity will always exist as long as he does not die. Depending on the situation, the Yin-Yang sect will continue to be strong. He, a half-star who claims to be powerful, will gradually annihilate everyone. So it would be better to follow Ryan's guard while he is the first, make good use of the relationship, make good contacts, and even serve as Ryan's guard in the future. Besides, although others have taken refuge, they have not yet gone to Yin-Yang star and have not obtained the status of disciple of Yin-Yang sect, but he is different. Before appearing, he has already obtained the status of outer disciple of Yin-Yang sect, so he can calling Ryan senior brother. With this relationship, he can naturally get closer to him. When the surrounding half-star creatures saw this scene, they all secretly gritted their teeth and cursed this half-star creature as despicable. But they can't help it, they are very close to each other. It can be said that during this trip, Ryan's personal superior mentality has been cultivated. His reputation and exposure in this starry sky have far exceeded the other two direct disciples of the Yin-Yang sect. Elder sister Billy and second senior brother Biha. But what they don't know is that a crisis that may frighten the entire fleet is quietly approaching the fleet. No one knows all this. But one man knew this. He is Jia Yan on the Yin-Yang star. It's not that Jia Yan really paid attention to so many things, but after arriving in this starry sky, the Edisha released a large number of detectors. Although these detectors are not considered to be superb things for the Galaxy-class battleships, to the strongest people in this starry sky where only the star class exists, they appear to be extremely tall. There is no means of confrontation at all. Therefore, these detectors fly to powerful forces or powerful people everywhere, and no one can detect them. Oh! Those two guys actually joined forces. Haha, now we can see how many of the so-called defenders around Ryan are sincere. Jia Yan faintly heard Edish's report from behind in the subspace above the yin-yang star, and then smiled disdainfully. It's just 2 stars, and there's no need for him to do it himself. The means of self-protection that Jia Yan gave his disciples were naturally not that simple. Although the 2 trapped meteorites were things he made casually, they were definitely not something that 2 mere stars could deal with. After all, Jia Yan's current yin-yang dao strength and the ability to create several meteorite explosives can almost play a very good role in the current galaxy-level battle. So what does it mean to deal with the star level? 2. Ryan, this time I will test you as a teacher. Will you be so panicked that both of them will fail? Jia Yan's giant mosquito eyes flickered silently, and then gradually lost their luster as he continued to recover from his injuries with a large amount of energy minerals. That's right, every planet Ryan recovers during his travels, no matter whether there are high-grade minerals on it, there is definitely some high-grade energy. He will collect all these high-grade items and quickly transport them to Yin-Yang Star. Jia Yan's repair speed became even faster. As long as I recover all the large and small planets in this starry sky, it will probably be enough for me to return to a state of complete victory. Of course, this depends on whether the treasures of several star levels over the years are enough. Jia Yan's calculations were mainly about all the supplies left by the 3-star level local powerhouses in this starry sky base. Such local star level creatures could collect a lot of supplies. Last time, Jia Yan was a little surprised that the star level force was not at home. This time, he felt that he would not be disappointed with the item library of the 2-star level forces. In that case, let me see the show. The yin-yang sitting cross-legged on the yin-yang star came out of seclusion after a long time. He began to teach his disciples once every few days. The entire yin-yang planet has transformed into a planet with an extremely strong cultivation culture in just a short time. After all, with the emergence of the yin-yang sect, all the lower-class people on the planet have been liberated. Not to mention those who are lucky enough to enter the yin-yang sect, even those who have not entered have received a lot of guidance and free training courses. It has always been open, allowing people to have the opportunity to improve their strength while working. As long as the strength is reached, you can avoid all tests and directly enter the yin-yang section. After all, it is possible to miss some talented people in the previous talent test. Master, you are biased. You asked their junior brother to do such a job to gain face, but you didn't even let me go. Billy met Jia Yan. As the closest disciple to Jia Yan and a girl, she was not as nervous when speaking as others. Will also act like a spoiled child. Jia Yan had nothing to do with such a disciple. Besides, he also enjoyed having such a disciple who was worthy of his love, so he smiled happily. Master didn't just let him go out because he had nothing to do. This kind of thing is nothing. Next time Master will ask you to do something more revealing. But, Billy, your current strength is still just when you reach the high level of heaven. The Master has been instilling strength into you for several days, but it has only improved so slowly, which is a bit disappointing for me. Yes, I'm sorry, Master, I've been playing too much recently, and I won't go out to play anymore. I will never go out until I reach the starry sky level. Billy stuck out her tongue and never dared to mention the shameful incident of her third junior brother Ryan going out. Biha was actually quite envious of Ryan, because his strength was also at the venerable level. He had been depressed for a while before, wondering why Jia Yan let his third junior disciple go out, and why his second disciple, who had a higher status, didn't have a chance. Later, he realized that he was just a farmer, with a stupid head, and no experience in dealing with outside creatures. If he went out and was tricked, it would be an embarrassment to his master, so he didn't want to. That's all. Biha, you have been asked to teach other disciples recently. Your own cultivation progress has not been slowed down, right? As soon as Biha heard Jia Yan's question, he knew that he was being tested, and he quickly straightened his expression. Master, I work hard every day and I dare not stop practicing one day. Well, are you close to the venerable intermediate level? This speed is not bad. If you haven't broken through the venerable intermediate level in a month, I'm asking for you. Yes. Biha's face changed slightly. He had been stuck at the top of the starry sky for many years before. Now he has just been promoted to the venerable level. His master wants him to quickly advance to the intermediate level of the venerable. Reborn as an interstellar giant mosquito. Author, Bulletin U. Chapter 2066. It takes a genius to remember the address of this website in 1 second, fastest update. No ads? For Biha in the past, it was simply impossible to kill him if he wanted to be promoted quickly. But after becoming the second disciple of the Yin-Yang sect, he not only practiced Yin-Yang Dao, but also obtained the cultivation resources second only to the sect master. He even had Jia Yan secretly instilling energy into his senior sisters and brothers to help them calm down the resource rush. Xiao Zhao, if he can't break through quickly, he himself will feel sorry for his master. Jia Yan looked at everything on the entire planet. During this time, because he had obtained a large amount of materials, he did not pay too much attention to the things on this planet. In addition to letting his two disciples manage it, he also allowed those who had taken refuge one by one to do their own thing. After all, they are native creatures and are better at this than outsiders like them. Yes, there are actually no dancers. After using the power of brain waves, Jia Yan nodded. Things like Wu Wei that I originally thought didn't happen much. It's normal to think about it, because everyone knows that the Yin-Yang sect master is an existence that can cover the entire planet with the power of brain waves. How can they dare to perform any more acts of destruction or destruction? Besides, after the Yin-Yang sect captured the Yin-Yang star, it created a huge pie for everyone, because the Yin-Yang sect actually revealed its great ambition to annex the entire starry sky nearby. You know, these are the three previous something that no star-level existence can do. This at least means that the Yin-Yang sect believes that it has such strength. When the big guys join such a force, and it's in the early stages, they naturally know that if they work hard, they may continue to improve their status, and in the end, it will feed back to themselves, which is an improvement in strength. After all, in this universe, the strongest is still supreme. The Yin-Yang sect gives everyone the feeling that it can make everyone improve their strength. Therefore, if this happens, there will be far fewer people who actually use public affairs for personal gain. We can't let go of a few examples. Let's do it this way. It's not good for me to step in, so let those departments handle it. Jia Yan's efficiency was so fast that it didn't take long for him to find out about some high-level officials or powerful people engaging in malpractice for personal gain. He instantly used his brainwave power to transmit messages to high-level officials in certain departments. Not long after, the entire Yin-Yang star, which had been calm for a long time, became turbulent again. Immediately, a large number of strong men appeared around those who practiced favoritism and arrested them. After reading this, Jia Yan no longer paid attention to the planet, because he felt that on the other side of the sky, where he had been paying attention, interesting things began to happen. Haha, let's see how Orion solves this crisis. Jia Yan returned to his retreat. Then, his consciousness returned to Zhen, and the Edissa quickly projected a screen, allowing him to see things hundreds of millions of kilometers away. Ryan and his fleet had completed another force's intimidation, and that force quickly surrendered just like the previous force. But next, the place where Ryan is going is the territory of another star-level powerhouse. According to outside rumors, this star-level powerhouse is not like the territory of the previous star-level powerhouse. The star himself is completely within the power. This, senior brother, my suggestion is that instead of going to this force to ask them about their surrender this time, we might as well go back and discuss it with the Yin-Yang sect master. Presumably, the Yin-Yang sect master will not want to fight with a star. Conflicts can easily arise. The half-star creature that had been following Ryan felt a little uneasy about Ryan wanting to cause trouble at the gate of a star force. The last battle was because the Stellar Master was not at home. If he were at home, he didn't believe that things would go so smoothly. But once luck comes, there may not be a second chance, so this half-star existence comforted Ryan. No, Master has said that this mission is to test our perseverance and courage. At least he said that if we have to leave this area, then in this force, no matter whether there is that star level, if it exists, I have to go and see it. Ryan moved Jia Yan out. The half-star creature hesitated for a while, then gritted his teeth and stopped talking. Because of Jia Yan, the leader of the Yin-Yang sect, he felt more and more that he was underestimating him a little too much. The strength of this strong man was estimated to be extremely powerful even at the level of a star. Exist. At least it is a high-level star, or it may even be the peak of a star. Such a creature is definitely stronger than the 3-star level creatures that have been in this starry sky for a long time, so the 3-star level creatures are definitely stronger. If he was wise, he would probably give the master of the Yin-Yang sect some face and not attack the third disciple of the Yin-Yang sect. Other defectors, as well as a large number of Yin-Yang sect disciples, all thought so. At least they don't think that their patchwork fleet and strong men can deal with stellar-level creatures. For stellar-level creatures, the creatures in this starry sky feel like they are looking at gods. But the thing they least expected to see happened. It was within that starry sky that the planet belonging to the stellar powerhouse made a sound. "Junior, do you want to see me?" "Very good, wait there, don't run away." Just such a response made the entire Yin-Yang sect's foreign war fleet feel like boiling water. Because some strong people have heard this voice, and even felt the terrifying power of the owner of the voice. Stellar-level powerhouse? Oh my God, that adult is actually here. It's over, he told us not to run away. It's better to escape. Although you may not be able to escape, it's better than waiting to die here. Every 1.5 stars were a little crazy at this time, and everyone felt in their hearts that they were on the wrong team. If they are allowed to practice within the Yin-Yang star, they will naturally know that there are enough strong men within the Yin-Yang sect, and they will never be afraid of the arrival of another star level. But they had just arrived on the fleet heading for the invasion of the stars. Forget it was just an ordinary invasion. When they came here today, with stellar powerhouses here, they still regretted it until their intestines turned green. Clang. Suddenly, in front of all the powerful battleships, there was a slight sound on the battleship carrying Ryan. Ryan dropped the teacup in his hand to the ground. "Shut up," he said coldly to all the strong men behind him. Then, he arrived in front of the communicator. "Your Excellency, if you want to come, then come, and we can have a good talk about your power's surrender." He suppressed his excitement and nervousness and said this to the other end of the communication in a deliberately cold voice. "Huh? You are that Ryan, right? Very good. You actually dare to speak to us like this. This is okay. I will meet you first, and then take your head to your master to ask for his recent death. We owe it to the limelight in this starry sky." The voice on the other end of the communicator, which was still a star, also became colder. Then, the communication between the two parties ended. In summary, the content of this communication can be said to be full of gunpowder, and it is a conversation that makes the strong men here completely frightened. "Third disciple, what are you talking about? Why do you want to anger that gentleman? We can't defeat him. Why don't we show weakness and ask him to let us go? Then we return to Yin-Yang star and invite Master Yin-Yang to come. Only in this way can we take revenge." "That's right, Mr. Ryan. A small impatience will ruin a big plan. It's absolutely impossible for us people to defeat a single star. If we die here, there will be no need to talk about learning yin and yang. We can't die. Ryan's disrespectful attitude toward a star made every creature in the group, whether it was a semi-star or a small soldier in the fleet, become dissatisfied with Ryan. He. Ryan smiled. He felt like he had become the public enemy of his own people. This feeling is completely opposite to the feeling of everyone respecting me and obeying my words a few days ago. The reason for all this is that these creatures are afraid of the appearance of a star. In the final analysis, strength is still the place in the universe. Ryan muttered a bit to himself. That's right. The universe is a place where strength is judged. We are not strong enough, so let's leave. Yes, we are moving into hyperspace now, and it is possible to escape the pursuit of the stellar class. After all, the stellar class is not omnipotent. Ryan said he would wait for the other party, but none of his subordinates thought that was a good thing at this time, and everyone ignored what Ryan said just now. At the same time, within the subspace, a detector quickly transmitted all these images to Jia Yanzhen, who was far away in the Yin-Yang star subspace, through special channels and processing methods. Now is the time to test this boy's determination and will. If he escapes, I won't blame him, but it is difficult for such a disciple to become a big figure in the future, and he will definitely not be reused. But if you resist the pressure and choose to believe what I told him initially, then, he is still somewhat useful. Jia Yan smiled slightly, waiting to see what Ryan's decision would be. Facing a stellar level, to be honest, if any master asked him to face the pressure of a stellar level when he changed to the Jia Yan venerable level, he would never choose to face it himself. After all, in the entire universe, he finally saw clearly that the person he could rely on most was himself. But for his disciples, this is not his request, because if these people want to rely on him, then these people must show trust and loyalty that are worthy of him. Jia Yan once told Ryan when he was traveling that no matter what kind of enemy he encountered, Ryan must believe in the cards he gave him. In fact, these words already vaguely contain the variable of stellar level. Ryan is not stupid and must have understood the meaning of Jia Yan's words. So now, if he faces a real star, but because of pressure, he chooses to ignore what Jia Yan said to him, even if Jia Yan understands this kind of thing, he will definitely not value Ryan anymore in the future. Definitely. Oh. Jia Yan saw the Ryan disciple again and shook his head. He opened the communication screen of the entire battleship, and everyone saw his face. As a creature with a pair of fists and a pair of claws, Ryan's appearance can be said to be not very good looking, and it feels a bit uncoordinated, so the appearance effect is not that good. But he still showed some sense of perseverance at this moment. Everyone Ryan looked extremely serious on the screen. You also know that a star-level powerhouse will come to meet us later, but what I mean is that when meeting him, we can't even pretend to be at a disadvantage, because we are outside the Yin-Yang section. The battle fleet sent by us is the face of the Yin-Yang section. If we face a star-level powerhouse, we will lose the face of my master. Even if I don't die, I will have no shame to see him. So I want to meet the star level, and I will meet him as the third disciple of my Yin-Yang sect. Of course, I will not drag everyone to die together. If you have any ideas, those who want to leave, you can just leave on your own, but in the future, I, the Yin-Yang sect, will no longer accept you as disciples. Ryan's words were full of soul-stirring emotions, making everyone who heard them feel a little proud. But this heroic spirit disappeared without a trace in an instant after thinking about what kind of existence he was prepared to face. After all, it was a star level, and it was not something that could be dealt with simply by relying on arrogance. Even if they were a group of half-star creatures, all of the creatures following Ryan hesitated. But the half-star level disciple who had been following Ryan and had obtained the identity of the Yin-Yang sect, after hesitating for a long time, and many people decided to stay or go, quietly asked in front of everyone. Come. So, Brother Ryan, do you have any plan to deal with it? After all, you also know that when the Stellar Master comes, he will definitely attack us. Ryan looked at this junior brother and smiled slightly. Yes, I have the magic weapon given by Master. But that magic weapon can deal with stellar levels. I don't know either, so I'm giving you a chance to choose. If we meet later and you make a decision, it will be too late. Okay, you decide now. Ryan's conversation with this half-star powerhouse, another group of half-star powerhouses, and some other fleet members who wanted to leave, all hesitated again. I thought just now that Ryan was going to die, but now that I heard it, it turned out that the Yin-Yang sect master had an arrangement. That's right, if there is no arrangement, if the Yin-Yang sect master lets a venerable level disciple come out of the mountain to regain the starry sky that will definitely encounter a star-level star, wouldn't it mean that his disciple will die? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Reborn as an interstellar giant mosquito. Author, Bulletin U. Chapter 2067. It takes a genius to remember the address of this website in 1 second, fastest update. No ads? No, could it be, that the old man, the Yin-Yang sect master, has already arrived near this starry sky? Yes, the old master of Yin-Yang has space talent. He was able to get into the subspace during the last warship group. It will definitely be easier for him to enter the subspace by himself. He has been following us. It's impossible to notice. Exactly, otherwise why would Ryan feel so confident? This must be the case. The old sect master actually took action personally. This should give him some confidence to deal with a not so strong star class. I won't leave. I'm not leaving either. Everyone got it wrong. Perhaps among this group of people, Ryan is the only one who understands the current situation the most. But he didn't say anything. Since everyone misunderstood, it would be better to let them misunderstand. Otherwise, if they really ran away, he would have no way to explain when he went back. What's more, he absolutely believed in what the master said. Since the master said that the meteorite was something that could protect him, he would not deny it. Join the Yin-Yang sect and become a disciple of the sect master. If he doesn't even believe in the sect master himself, then why should he join the Yin-Yang sect? At this moment, the whole world felt like a real storm was coming. Not only the fleet dispatched by the Yin-Yang sect, but also the people on several asteroids around them felt out of breath. A star-level powerhouse is nothing in the central star field of the Milky Way, but in a small area, no matter where he is placed, he can be regarded as a hero. It is very normal for them to release their own brainwave power in a small area of the starry sky. The ripples in the starry sky are caused by them. Just like now, their energy is surging in the entire starry sky, causing the pressure within a large swath of the starry sky is obviously different from the outside world. This is the amazing momentum given by the strong. Of course, if you are facing a strong man of the same level, or a being that is more powerful than your own, a star-level being, you will not dare to let your strength go and release it to death in the starry sky. After all, it is a provocative act. But facing the Yin-Yang sect's external fleet, they didn't feel this way. After all, it was just a group of semi-star class plus hundreds of warships. If the star-class powerhouse wanted to kill them, it would be easy to do so. Kill them. Is it coming soon? This is stellar pressure. It's terrible. Oh my God, this is the first time I have directly experienced the hostile pressure of a star. It feels like it is going to drive people crazy. Me too, my heart is beating so fast. Ha 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 ha, luckily I am a race without a heart structure, but I am also very stressed and always feel like I am going to die. Within the entire fleet of the Yin-Yang sect, there is no one left. After all, in such a starry sky, it is okay to leave with the large army, but the departure of a small group of people will only be delivering food around. Maybe there are a large number of planets that they bullied along the way are waiting for their arrival. So it is better to stay and see if Master Yin Yang really came to this starry sky to protect them. Boom 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 boom. Before everyone could have too many thoughts running through their hearts, waves of earth-shattering tremors and a sense of ambiguity bloomed in front of everyone's eyes above the starry sky. Coming. Such a terrible movement. Star level? No, it's two. Ah, it's Suolin. Suolin actually joined forces with this guy. How could the two of them join forces? Aren't these two mortal enemies? Why did they join forces? In the Yin-Yang Sex fleet, a large number of creatures, after sensing the coming momentum, their expressions changed drastically. Because in the coming momentum, they felt a very familiar atmosphere. Many of the members in this fleet are surrenders from the original Suolin planet. They are naturally very familiar with Suolin's momentum. At this time, they felt two stellar momentums, one of which was from Suolin. For them, you can imagine how shocking and frightening this was. Huh? You said, there is a forest of locks here. Ryan was also bearing the momentum of the two stars, and his face changed wildly at this time. You know, he had already made plans to deal with a star level 1. If one meteorite was not enough to explode by itself, he was prepared to send two meteorites out at the same time, which would probably cause the death of the enemy. But he didn't expect that two of them would come, that is to say, two star-level beings in this starry sky would actually come, just to deal with him, a small yin-yang sect master-level disciple. Ryan was a little frightened, but also felt a little proud. But there are no more thoughts to think about now, because this is the time when their life and death are at stake. We are here, you little bastards of the yin-yang sect, you can suffer death. The two star-level beings who arrived came on their own battleships. Behind them, there was even more mighty battleships, followed by 3,000 or 4,000 battleships. At first glance, they looked like a huge whale, ready to the small fish of the yin-yang sect fleet devouring this starry sky. Humph. Give it your all. At this moment, Ryan still remembered the words from Master Yin-Yang, that is, you cannot bow your head. If you bow your head, the Yin-Yang sect will suffer for the face of his disciple. Therefore, he cannot be embarrassed. Today, he was born as a member of the Yin-Yang sect and died as a ghost of the Yin-Yang sect. Isn't it just death? Besides, he, Ryan, may not die. Fight. Ryan felt the same as when he was dealing with 4.5 stars that day. He flew out of the starry sky against the astonishing pressure of the stars. Hey! Two old immortals actually dare to abuse us and other members of the yin-yang section. Don't you know how to write the word death? As soon as he said these words, several half-stars and more fleet members in the yin-yang sect fleet behind him were all frightened and felt like they were about to faint. This third disciple is actually so crazy. Did he even dare to insult two star-level beings? Knowing that this third disciple was stubborn, no one expected that he would be so stubborn. Oh! How dare someone in the yin-yang sect dare to speak like this to us? Two star-level creatures also flew out of the battleship. Each of the two star-level stars is more than 1 or 2 kilometers in size. Among them, the middle-level star is even more than 5 kilometers in size. Compared with Ryan in front of them, it is like a small ant. It looks like a small tree shaking a giant tree, not on the same level at all. Haha, you two old men, a member of the yin-yang sect, why should I be afraid of you? Now that Ryan has done it, he seems to be full of momentum and not afraid of these two stars at all. Old man? Very good, very good. It's been a long time since anyone called us that. It's obvious that you are the third disciple of the yin-yang section. That's right, you two old men, you actually recognize my grandpa. You have great eyes. Ho! Suolin, why are you telling him so much? Let's kill them, and then attack the yin-yang star in one go. Among the two star-level stars, Suolin is the one with a little bit of sense, while the other one is a huge local star-level powerhouse. He looked at Ryan, who spoke rudely, and his eyes almost wanted to swallow him in his mouth. Similar. But Ryan was not afraid of his feelings at all. Okay, Ryan, now your yin-yang sect knows the information about our cooperation. We are not afraid that your master will know this. We also want to tell the whole world and let everyone know that the two of us have joined forces. The yin-yang sect is going to perish, your master will probably be trembling. Suolin snorted coldly. He had not counterattacked yin-yang before because he was a little unsure of yin-yang's strength, but now with the help of another star level, he did not believe he could not defeat yin-yang. As for the battle in front of them, for the two of them, it was like a small foreplay, and they didn't need to expend too much energy at all. But it was only because of the previous pressure that he felt that yin and yang could now bear some of his pressure. He came forward to talk to Ryan, and it was also to make yin and yang understand through his communication channel. Start getting into anxious situations. But he never expected that after he said this, standing in the starry sky opposite them, the several hundred meters big Ryan would actually look up to the sky and laugh. Ha 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 ha. Why are you laughing? Suolin was about to get furious. The stellar powerhouse on the other side also had an ugly look on his face. Of course he is not that angry, but the two of them have a division of labor, one plays the role of a bad-tempered person, and the other plays the role of a talkative person. But now, he found that the situation was a bit strange. He couldn't tell what was strange. In short, even the so-called third disciple of the yin-yang sect didn't seem to be afraid of the scene of their two star-level beings joining forces, which made him a little bit suspicious. What is the situation, or rather, what is the trump card, that makes this third disciple behave like this? They were at the star level, so they naturally understood that a creature with a subspace talent might be hiding in the subspace. However, after being here for so long, they detected the interior of the subspace and found that there was no sign of any creature at all. In other words, this third disciple actually dares to be so presumptuous when his master is not around. They feel a little weird. Boy, what are you laughing at? Suolin really wanted to get angry. Originally, they came here to let everyone in the yin-yang sect experience real pressure, but when this scene appeared, it felt as if the so-called third disciple of the yin-yang sect didn't feel any pressure at all. Yes, Ryan feels no pressure at all. It's not that he really thinks that the methods left behind by the master will really be able to deal with the two star levels. But after truly witnessing the rage of the two stars, and then playing some tricks on himself, he began to feel, what about the stars? Everyone had been afraid of the godlike existence all their lives. After truly facing their master, the yin and yang, they still looked a bit like ordinary people. This is the level of strength that he has reached. If his background and strength are not up to par, it is estimated that when they see the two-star level people now, they will not even look at a venerable level like him. Even he himself will still regard the star level, think of it as a god. But now, the appearance of the god has completely collapsed. Astral level people are also human beings, and there is nothing unique about them. They are just like two children who are afraid of their master. I'm laughing. You two, no, you two old men, are simply afraid. If you weren't afraid of my master, why didn't you rush directly to Yin Yang Star? You just wanted to come over to test our combat effectiveness here. That's why dare to go to the Yin Yang sect, don't you? If you feel that you are not strong enough to deal with my master, you will probably give up on this starry sky. Ha ha ha, what a star level, it is simply laughable. Ryan laughed loudly and instantly revealed the innermost thoughts of the two stars. This. You're so brave. How dare you look down on our stellar class several times? No matter what, you, the venerable level, can't escape today. You must die. The two-star level beings became truly furious in an instant. Their faces darkened, and the entire world began to change color. Shanglin's strength lies in his brainwave power. In an instant, the brainwave power exploded, aiming at Ryan and swarming towards him. The other one was very fast. He entered super fast speed in an instant and rushed towards Ryan like a mountain. Their 2-star level existences actually had nothing to hold back, and launched an all-out fighting stance against Ryan. They naturally knew that if a venerable level being dared to be so disrespectful to the astral level, it must be because he had his own trump card behind him. Otherwise, how could a mere venerable level person dare to anger 2 astral level beings? However, they believe that no matter how powerful the trump card is, as long as the yin and yang are not here, the 2 of them will not have the slightest chance of losing. No matter what the trump card is, so what? They are the existence that even the master who created the trump card wants to destroy, so how can they be afraid of the trump card of his mere venerable disciple? Master, please take action. At this moment, when the 2 stars were overwhelming like a mountain, Ryan seemed to have no idea at all, and even his whole body was pressed so hard that his bones almost broke, but he remained extremely calm. He calmly rushed into the battleship behind him and held his hand from afar. Buzz buzz. Ka. In the battleship behind them, among countless fleet members trembling, 2 huge meteorites, even larger than the one that exploded before, moved instantly. The people who were looking after the 2 meteorites found that the 2 meteorites emitted a burst of brilliance, and then disappeared in front of their eyes in an instant. At the same time, at the front of the entire fleet where Ryan was standing, the faint brilliance of 2 meteorites emerged. Coming. This is the method he used to deal with several half-stars last time. Haha, you are using it to deal with half-star level things, but you are actually using it to deal with star-level things. Ryan, are you out of your mind? Reborn as an interstellar giant mosquito. Author, Bulletin U. Chapter 2068. It takes a genius to remember the address of this website in 1 second, fastest update. No ads? The 2-star level beings and the fleet behind these 2-star level beings suddenly laughed when they saw Ryan summoning 2 things like meteorites again. This meteorite is already very famous in the entire starry sky. Because last time, such an ordinary meteorite actually caused the deaths of 4.5 stars, as well as the fleet behind them, and turned into dust in the universe. But no one thinks that the existence of such a meteorite can cause any damage to the star level. Because it was a star-level attack. The meteorite explosion last time seemed powerful, but who really thought it could reach a star-level attack power? It's just that none of these people noticed that the meteorite explosive summoned by Ryan this time was directly larger than the previous one. It seemed to be only a little bit bigger, but this change was huge. The difference. 2 adults, yes, this is my backup plan. Since you 2 want the life of this 3rd disciple, then let's do it. Give me, blast. Ryan sneered and pointed a pair of fingers at the 2 stellar powerhouses. Well. No one heard a gentle sigh from the yin-yang starland in the distant place at this time. Jia Yan originally expected that his disciple would be able to use a more advanced method of yin and yang dao explosions, but he did not expect that this disciple would still use the old method without considering the matter of worry at all. Obviously I have used it once last time, so I should have a certain understanding of the positive and negative power explosives of yin and yang dao. Can be biased. Ryan still used the same driving plan as last time, and it felt like he was completely unfamiliar with this explosive. Yes, Ryan is said to be more flexible, but after all, his fighting talent, sensitivity, and confidence in fighting are far from enough. What's more, he is facing 2-star level beings this time. Even if I have some ideas about trying other operating methods, I don't dare to think about changes. After all, they are not myself, so I can't ask them so much. The reason why Jia Yan sighed was because if Ryan had used a more sophisticated explosives plan, the explosives would have easily doubled their attack power. For example, you can use your own positive and negative power to fix the explosive in a certain direction and aim at 2-star levels, so that the power of the explosion will not be wasted so much. Or use the power of brain waves to control it, so that the explosives will be launched along a very small range like bullet trajectories, just like what Jia Yan used before. If used well, the power will not be as powerful as Jia Yan. It's the same as before, the power is increased several times, but it's still very easy to double it. But he didn't change anything and just exploded out like this, which made Jia Yan slightly disappointed. Forget it, I can't ask for too much. Ryan's ability to reach this level is already worthy of praise. A venerable level person did not choose to escape when faced with two stellar level beings. To me, they are all worthy of admiration. Jia Yan calmed down his unhappiness slightly, and then smiled. Since the apprentice did not use the method of maximizing the power of the explosion, then, it is my turn as the master to come on stage. Jia Yan smiled. Used the power of brainwaves. Although it is almost impossible for a galaxy-level powerhouse to spread the power of his brainwaves to places hundreds of millions of kilometers away in an instant, even if he is a high-level galactic person, he cannot do it. After all, the biggest problem facing the powerful men of the universe is always the infinite distance of the universe. It can't be done easily, but that doesn't mean there are no tricks. Just like now, what Jia Yan is controlling is his wave of positive and negative power. This meteorite explosive is his own power. He can naturally control it, and he has long thought of the need for remote control. So he used the feeling of releasing a clone control method to release a spiritual power similar to a clone, on top of the two meteorites. This is a very simple way to control their self-destruction. So at this moment, in the entire sky, the two seemingly useless meteorites, approaching the 2-star levels, began to emit bright light and exploded. Ha ha ha, if you want to deal with us with such little power, you are simply overestimating your capabilities. Suolin, I just told you that this yin-yang sect is a completely useless force. You see, now that we can easily block their strongest weapon, it is estimated that yin-yang can also be easily defeated by us. Deal with it? Yeah, huh. The two stellar powerhouses were speaking ill of the yin-yang sect just now, but their expressions changed simultaneously. Because they felt that the two meteorite explosives that erupted with bright light suddenly felt several times more dangerous in an instant. This is not good. The two Xingxingjia quickly stepped back, not daring to get closer. But at this moment, it was useless no matter how much their souls flew into the sky and how shocked they were. Because a galaxy-level being took action against them personally. How could two mere star-level beings withstand the strength of a galaxy-level being? Even if the place where the galaxy-level takes action is extremely far away from them, it will have no effect at all. Boom. Boom boom boom. Rumble. Above the sky, an extremely dazzling light flashed for an instant, and an extremely shocking movement exploded. Obviously this power is not several times more powerful than the power that killed 4.5-star level experts before, but it feels like an earth-shattering and completely groundbreaking one. What shocked others even more was that the two explosive forces suddenly twisted into two ropes and aimed directly at the 2-star level beings. No matter how they tried to escape, they could not escape from this force. Two-rope chase. This, Master. When the two meteorite explosions and the feeling of connection with him disappeared instantly, Ryan's expression also changed drastically. Then he thought that at this juncture, the only one who could control the existence of meteorite explosives was his master, Yin Yang. Could it be that, as others said, Onmyoji master came here? He quickly felt around, but found nothing. If master hadn't come in person, what would be happening in this scene? Ryan didn't understand it at all. For a venerable being, he couldn't understand why there was a strong man who could control the previously released power in a distant place. This was too far for him. Too far away, like a myth. Ah. Yin, Yunyang, former, senior. Spare your life, senior, We don't dare. The 2-star level beings were like two grasshoppers who could not avoid the shock wave. They were directly baptized by the energy. Then, if they wanted to surrender or beg for mercy, they became intermittent and almost inaudible. Not long after, the two huge biological shadows slowly turned into the most basic dust in the universe, leaving not even a trace. Just kidding, if a mid-level galaxy existence takes action personally, there is no way for two mere stars to escape, and even they can't even leave the scum behind. Buzz buzz. Above the sky, it seems that the entire sky is shaking due to the demise of the 2-star classes. After all, the star class is not a cabbage that can be seen casually on the roadside. When you die, no matter what is left before death, there will be some signs of the energy or the dissipation of power between heaven and earth after death. Buzz buzz. Ryan looked at the sky in front of him in shock. The sky was full of colors. The death energy of the 2 stars turned the starry sky into a place that was destined to be a holy land for cultivation for a long time. It was extremely full of energy. Master, Master, who are you? His whole body was shaking a little. He very clearly understood that without the help of the power that came from a distant place just now, the power of the 2 meteorites might be able to seriously injure the 2-star level people, but it would never be possible to do this to the 2-star level people. Everything that existed was directly destroyed and turned into dregs. This was simply a sensational thing. And who the sudden power will be, you don't have to think about it. Only his cheap master, the extremely mysterious old turtle, who so far no one knows about his strength, can do it. At this time, Ryan once again had wild thoughts about Jia Yan's strength. Is this, killing them? 2 stars. We, the Yin-Yang sect, are actually such a terrifying sect? 2-star level people, using 2 magic weapons, killed them with just 1 blow. What kind of sect have we joined? Master Yin-Yang, what kind of strong man is he? It is definitely the pinnacle of stars, or at least the pinnacle of stars exists, to be able to do such a thing. No. No matter what, we won. Facing the 2 stars, we killed them again, and they were completely wiped out. Now, in the entire starry sky, who dares to disobey my Yin-Yang sect's discipline? Yes, our Yin-Yang sect, from today on, is truly the absolute king of this starry sky. We have accomplished what even the 3-star level existences cannot do. After controlling this starry sky, the strength of our Yin-Yang sect will reach a very high level in an instant, even compared with some big forces further away. Who said just now that we can do things that cannot be done by the star level? What are these star levels? The Yin-Yang sect master is a much stronger existence than them. Maybe he is a star level with extremely strong combat power from the outside world. It is also possible that every strong person in our star field is weaker than the strong person from the outside world. If the master of the sect is a star level with extremely strong fighting power from the outside world, then he can easily kill 2 low-level stars. Level, it's a normal thing. Long live. Long live the Yin-Yang sect. Long live the Yin-Yang sect. Ha. Ryan listened to the surprise screams of a group of fleet subordinates behind him, and smiled slightly himself. But he did not directly enjoy the joy of victory, but turned his head with great respect, facing the direction of Yin-Yang star, and bowed respectfully. Well. Beside him, several half-stars who also flew out of the battleship after winning were shocked when they saw his actions. They quickly followed Ryan's example and bowed in the direction of Yin-Yang star with great respect. They finally understood that the Yin-Yang sect master was really a terrifying and powerful man, and a much more terrifying existence than any star level that had ever come in this starry sky. With such a being serving as their leader, they naturally have to be extremely respectful. There are also rumors in the stars that accompanying the king is like accompanying a tiger. A top strong man is like a fickle superior. One day, we will see if you don't like it, they may easily crush you to death. At least they have self-awareness. They are only half-star level. Facing an existence that can easily kill even low-level existences in stars, they have little backhand power, and their use value is not great. If it is true being disliked by yin and yang, crushing them to death would not be any more heartbreaking than crushing those 2-star level creatures to death. So etiquette is a must. After completing the etiquette, Ryan regained his composure, and then he became full of energy. Listen to my orders and go to these 2-star level territories. They actually dare to disobey the orders of my yin-yang sect master and resist stubbornly. It would be fine if the people of these two major forces surrender obediently. Those who do not surrender will be killed without mercy. After so many days of experience, Ryan finally gained a lot more ruthlessness, and at this time he spoke the immediate order decisively. Yes. Third senior brother. Respect the orders of the third disciple. Kill. A wave of warships, as if they were witnessing military exploits one after another, flew towards the 3,000 to 4,000 warships led by the 2-star level beings. At this time, each of the enemy warships seemed to have been immobilized. The scene just now was too scary. Moreover, the shock waves of the two explosives also deliberately shocked each of them. Everyone was extremely confused. So they have no resistance at all. When hundreds of yin-yang sect warships arrived, fear and shock prevented each of them from putting up a decent resistance, so they just gave in and surrendered one by one. Haha, I have surrendered 100 ships. Only 100 ships? I surrendered 150 ships. 150 ships are nothing. I have surrendered 5 flagship level warships here. Ha ha ha, it's so cool. In the past, it was a bit difficult for me to deal with one of these warships by myself. Today, they surrendered to me like this. All of this is thanks to Master Yin Yang's strength. Yes, all the credit must go to the Yin Yang sect master. In every war, the Yin Yang sect, which easily won, loudly proclaimed the goodness of the Yin Yang sect master. Reborn as an interstellar giant mosquito. Author, Bulletin U. Chapter 2069. It takes a genius to remember the address of this website in 1 second, fastest update. No ads? Everyone present was not stupid. In the battle just now, there was a slight rippling power for a moment, which was sensed by many beings with reasonable strength. So they understood that the result of all this was actually the Yin-Yang sect master. On remote control. So I quickly flattered him now, maybe Master Yin-Yang could hear me. Jia Yan naturally heard it. These guys, haha. Jia Yan just smiled. As a strong man, how could he not hear praises and flattery? When he was in the Orion arm, he heard more and more exaggerations than this. So I am already immune. Earth-shattering news emanated from this land, the domain of a stellar powerhouse. Moreover, the news this time was much larger than the previous news caused by the Yin-Yang sect, and it also gave a greater impact. This news is, 2-star level stars who are far away from the starry sky join forces and prepare to fight back against the Yin-Yang section. However, they did not expect that in the first battle, they were directly destroyed by the magic weapon carried by the 3 disciples of the Yin-Yang section kill. The sensational effect of this news is too great. Compared with the previous 4.5 stars that were killed by Ryan, it is simply more than 100 times astonishing. A star-level existence in this starry sky is what others think of as a god. But these two beings, including Suolin, were killed directly by Ryan, the third disciple of the Yin-Yang sect, using the magic weapon given by Yin-Yang without even being able to see the face of the Yin-Yang sect leader. This can be said to be it's amazing. Ryan, a venerable level being, has once again caused an uproar in public opinion in such a short period of time, following the news that the last venerable killed 4.5 stars. This time it is even more serious. It's an exaggeration. A mere venerable level person like him actually killed 2-star level people. This is huge news that will cause the stars in the farther range to shake. And under this news, what makes all the creatures around are thinking, what kind of strength is Yin Yang, the master of Yin Yang sect? Forget about half-star level, a star-level existence, and a subspace talent that makes most creatures feel a little mysterious. He will create some weird things to let his disciples kill enemies beyond the level. Killing 4.5 stars is really nothing. But the stellar level is wrong. If the items he creates can kill even stars, then what is the strength of this strong man? You know, one of the two strong men is an intermediate level of constant breath. Such a mid-level star-level existence was actually killed with one blow, and it was just a magic weapon. Speaking of this, it will make others think about it. In short, no matter what strength Yin Yang is, at this moment, the entire Yin Yang sect, together with Yin Yang himself, is the most dazzling existence in the starry sky. Everyone knows that the rise of the Yin Yang sect is impossible to stop. Sir Ryan, before we have even gone there, the master of the power in that starry sky has already come over personally and submitted a surrender letter. Oh? Is that so again? Then we change our position and go to another direction to accept the surrender of other places. Just send one of you to receive that force. That's right. Several other forces from other directions have also sent messages, saying that they don't dare bother you to rush there in person. They are all here. There is no force in the entire starry sky that refuses to surrender. Huh? Okay, well, it seems that I have completed the task given to me by Master Well. Haha, I can finally go back. The day after Ryan killed N.A. Suolin and another star class, he received surrender letters from many parties, and each of them hoped that Ryan would help them put in a good word in front of the Yin Yang sect master. Ryan couldn't even remember the faces of these people, so there was no possibility of saying anything nice about them. It's just that these smart forces at least gained Ryan's favor because they didn't let Ryan travel a long way to ask them to surrender. This was at least a lot easier for Ryan. It's just that God knows that among those spheres of influence, there is a force that is Ryan's hometown. Originally, Ryan wanted to return to his hometown and let the villagers see his prosperous self. Unexpectedly, the leader of the force from his hometown has come long ago. Surrendering, letting him show off his thoughts would not be vented at all. So he was still a little disappointed. Fortunately, there is still not as much disappointment as happiness. After all, as long as this starry sky can be transformed into the Yin Yang sect as soon as possible, then his mission can be completed quickly, and then he can return to the Yin Yang sect and continue to receive the teachings of the Yin Yang master. You know, in these days, Ryan has accumulated a lot of questions and is ready to ask his master. Moreover, he had previously been suspicious of Yin Yang Dao, but after winning battles again and again, especially at the end, when he felt the earth-shattering power of the positive and negative forces, killing all the stars, he had already given up on Yin Yang Dao, and felt if you don't work hard to learn Yin and Yang Tao in this life, you will really waste this good opportunity. So even though he couldn't go back to his hometown to show off, he was still very happy. Ryan, who was eager to return home, immediately asked each half-star in the fleet to lead a team to receive the surrendered forces from all walks of life. However, these half-stars are not trustworthy, to be honest. Fortunately, every one of them, like Ryan, wants to go to Yin Yang Star, and wishes for Master Yin Yang to recognize them as his fourth disciple. Some even accepted the mission. They were all bargaining, saying that they would only go there for a few days and then wanted to return to Yin Yang Star to learn Yin Yang sect. After appeasing these semi-stars, Ryan flew on his own battleship and returned in triumph with dozens of battleships. As for the Yin Yang Star, the news of a great victory on the front line, and the destruction of two major stars in one go, was transmitted to this planet, and the entire Yin Yang Star was also like an explosion, and extremely shocking parties appeared. Surprised. There are many creatures on this planet who are loyal to Suolin, because they always feel that with Suolin's stellar strength, they will definitely return to Suolin one day, but before that, they only can pretend to be a person from Yin Yang Star. But when the news came that Suolin himself was dead, every creature in this group became silent, and no one dared to say anything about bringing Suolin back. Because they know that the Yin Yang sect, or Yin Yang himself, is not at the level of Suolin. Even if they become members of the Yin Yang Star, they may get more benefits in the end than becoming members of the Suolin Star. Even these people are like this, the original Suolin Star, and now the people of Yin Yang Star, it is even more so. The people on the entire planet instantly and clearly realized that it was their great honor and blessing that the Yin Yang sect chose to make Yin Yang Star their base. The existences that were originally slaves were naturally happy enough. Even the group of people who had lived a good life now no longer complained at all, because they knew that on Yin Yang Star, their future was brighter. With the Yin Yang sect master here, this Yin Yang Star will definitely become a holy place, and the level of cultivation and civilization will be extremely advanced and powerful. Even if they themselves will not make any progress in the Yin Yang Dao in their lifetime, the future children will not necessarily. After all, with such a powerful cultivation path, for the talents of creatures in the central star field of the Milky Way, it is very possible to develop a certain level of strength as long as you start from a young age. And in the era of strong men in the universe, who doesn't go for strength? Then it doesn't matter what the Yin Yang sect or the Suolin forces, whichever one can make them stronger will be attached to. Ah! It's Lady Billy. I've met Lord Billy. Is this the rumored senior sister Billy? She looks smaller than the rumored one, but her strength, Billy walked glumly on the streets of Yin Yang Star. She was naturally unhappy. Because during this period of time, the strength, influence, and status of the entire Yin Yang sect have increased rapidly, and there have been more and more doubts about her, the senior sister. Although she is still a child, she has already assumed the identity of the senior sister of the Yin Yang sect, so wherever she goes, she attracts everyone's attention. Unfortunately, her strength is still at the peak of the lower level of the sky level, stuck in the last stage of the lower level, and has not been promoted to the starry sky level. A dignified senior sister of the Yin Yang sect is actually only at the heaven level. This seems like an ironic thing to the countless people watching around. After all, the number 2 figure in the Yin Yang sect, at least in name, has such strength that people will laugh to death if he mentions it. Oh, I really don't want to be a senior sister anymore. Billy feels a little bit broken. Drink, ha. When Billy approached a training ground, she smiled slightly. Kill. The mantis creature that was as big as her was making rapid progress and practice. It's just that he didn't get personal guidance from Master Yin Yang or anything, so his strength wouldn't develop too quickly. After so many days, he has just entered the Earth level, the elementary level of the Earth level. It's just that Billy likes to watch him practice, and sometimes even teaches him certain battleships and practice techniques. This makes every master who teaches in this training ground want to teach the mantis creature every day. Because the things Billy taught came from Master Yin Yang. He often said these in one sentence. They were masters who had just been exposed to Yin Yang Dao for a short time. They suddenly had an idea. There was another one before, who had just changed his strength and was stuck in the sky level. After Billy's words, he broke through to the starry sky level that day, which was something that made the other training ground masters around him extremely envious. Sister Billy, you are here again. Well, let me take a look at the situation. How is the progress of his cultivation? Well, this kid, his progress is okay, but he's not much better than others. Sister Billy, don't be angry. In my opinion, it's hard for this kid to become famous in the future. A master was singled out for questioning by Billy. He was the master responsible for teaching the young mantis creature. Humph, tell me what my talent is. Does it mean that I don't have any future? After hearing what he said, Billy was so angry that her eyes burst into flames. Ah, no, senior sister Billy's talent can be noticed by yin-yang sect master, so naturally it is not something he can compare with. The master was so frightened that he waved his hands repeatedly, and later did not dare to mention the talent of the mantis creature. Although each of their masters knew that the talent of the mantis creature was not very good, but it was not too bad either. If he practiced hard in the future, it should be possible to reach the rank of venerable, but he had a heavy feeling that even Billy valued him. They all feel it's not worth it. Everyone knew that Billy seemed to pay attention to this mantis creature because the other person's status was similar to hers, but they couldn't figure out how to persuade Billy. If you have that time, why not practice quickly and reach the starry sky level? Wouldn't it make your position more stable? It was a pity that Bilica was stuck at the top of the heaven level and couldn't move forward for a long time. She was upset every day and wanted to see this mantis young man. Although it wasn't a matter of whether she liked him or not, she just wanted to see how this guy got rid of his current status, and she always had such a knot in her heart. Ah! Hit me hard. The mantis young man who is at the beginning of the prefecture level is yelled crazily, asking others to attack and hit him. He developed muscles in the mind that look like a muscular version of a mantis creature. Although it has no advantage over the more powerful mantis creature, it can be compared to the Earth-level primary mantis race with the same strength. Living things are much stronger. He is letting others attack him. What is this guy doing? Billy was very suspicious. To repay senior sister, he is letting others attack him, and then trying to improve his physical strength. Maybe this will improve his strength. Although the method is very stupid, many of us have improved in this way. The master responded to Billy respectfully. Oh, so there is such a way to practice. Billy was startled for a moment. Although she was not very talented, but because of Jia Yan's attention, the speed of her cultivation had always been described as a rocket, so she had never worried about such a thing at all, let alone using blows. Improve your own strength. Roar. Suddenly, the mantis creature looked up to the sky and roared, and then a huge sense of power exploded outside his body. Ah! Did he really break through to the mid-level Earth level? Billy couldn't believe her eyes. Then, regardless of communicating with the mantis creature, she flew backwards and left. Master! I want to use external pressure to improve my strength. Today, I will break through the starry sky level. Not long after, Billy arrived in front of the mountain of Yin-Yang Stars sect master. She shouted loudly, asking Jia Yan to give her pressure similar to a blow to improve her strength in the final level. In this way, maybe it can be promoted to the starry sky level. Oh! Jia Yan is focusing on the final restoration of his true body. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Reborn as an interstellar giant mosquito. Author, Bulletin U. Chapter 2070. It takes a genius to remember the address of this website in 1 second, fastest update. No ads. Jia Yan is focusing on the final restoration of his true body. Because Ryan has transported more and more supplies to his body in recent days, the recovery speed has become faster and faster. The physical quality of the evolved beast can restore its strength no matter what it eats, giving the possibility of rapid recovery. At this time, the repaired already in a state of 77, I just need to spend another half month to recuperate a little, and my strength will be completely restored. This is the role of a force. Even if it is only such a small force, people can still get a lot of supplies. With a little searching of hundreds of scattered stars in the sky, Jia Yan almost recovered, which has completely fulfilled his wish. In the future, maybe it will allow him to take a further step. Jia Yan, who was immersed in recovery, did not expect that his great apprentice, Billy, who had always been obedient, would actually come to make requests on his own. He had previously asked this disciple to practice whatever he wanted. As for the pressure-based training method, Jia Yan naturally knows it. It should even be said that every time he improves, he is under pressure, and several times he has achieved breakthroughs in battles. But because he didn't want his disciples to suffer like this, he never said anything. But he never expected that the eldest disciple would see it from somewhere and come to him to ask for help. "Billy, are you sure?" "Master, I'm sure." Buzz. As soon as Billy said her answer, an earth-shaking power instantly filled the little bunny-eared girl's body. Jia Yan's efficiency in doing things and actions is very fast. Since this disciple wants to try that feeling, he will not deny it, but let her experience it. If he can't stand it, he can stop at any time. Well, Billy really didn't expect that the master would act so resolutely, and she would feel the squeeze of power in an instant. Her whole body was tense, and every cell in her body was being compressed to the limit by the power of a strong man. "Ah!" Billy screamed. "If you want to stop, you can call me at any time." Jia Yan's voice rang in Billy's ears. But Billy had no intention of giving up. She just gritted her teeth, then groaned a few times, but held back without saying a word. "Oh, I still have some perseverance." Jia Yan practiced on an extremely tall mountain peak erected on this yin-yang star. At this moment, he also became interested in Billy's perseverance. To be honest, this eldest disciple always surprises Jia Yan. Of course, this is also because Jia Yan pays attention to her and compares it to other strong people, but she has stronger perseverance. Shouldn't this be a normal operation? This eldest disciple, who had no strength from the beginning, was led into the door by Jia Yan. Although they had only been together for a few months, Jia Yan regarded her as his own daughter. I don't want to give up, I don't want to give up, I am the great disciple of Yin-Yang section." Billy screamed. Jia Yan hesitated for a moment, and then a force enveloped the disciple and sent her to the top of the mountain where she was. This will at least prevent the people in the yin-yang star below from seeing the eldest disciple's embarrassment. Otherwise, Billy might regret her current recklessness when she thinks about it in the future. Buzz buzz. At the top of the mountain, Billy was under the pressure of Jia Yan's brainwave power, but she didn't say anything anymore, either out of habit or because she didn't want to show cowardice. Anyway, she didn't say anything more. "This little guy surprised me a little, so let's see how far she can bear it." Jia Yan felt a little relieved that the disciple came to him to increase the pressure. In fact, Jia Yan didn't know that using this kind of improvement method might be the most effective, but the problem was that as a master, how could he let his disciples to endure such pain? It would be better to let them practice well. But now Jia Yan saw that his eldest disciple had already seen the benefits of this plan from the outside world, and then volunteered to try it. The effect was good. Jia Yan felt that a new power was about to break through in the body of Billy, the little bunny-eared girl. This is starry sky level strength. As long as she persists for a while, she will become a starry sky level. I want to become a more powerful person. I want to live up to Master's cultivation, and I want to show them that there is nothing wrong with my identity as the eldest disciple. When Billy was thinking a little confused, she shouted a slogan that even Jia Yan looked at with suspicion. This little guy was actually under a lot of pressure without even realizing it. Jia Yan shook his head. Under the mountain, Biha was working not far away. When Billy rushed to the mountain for testing, he also saw this scene. Now there was no movement. He couldn't help but look at the mountain with slight worry. Top. I hope Billy is okay. Biha naturally knew why Billy was so anxious. To be honest, even now, in a place without people, he still regards the senior sister as his junior, and even often finds some delicious food for little girl Billy to eat, so for him, Billy is like half a child. As for Billy's pressure, he felt it was a bit too much. Such a small child was actually under such great pressure. The outside world was saying that she didn't admire her. Every time Biha heard something like this when he spoke, he wanted to tear the other person's mouth to pieces. But the problem is that tearing is easy, and senior sister Billy really doesn't respect her status. So today he found that Billy also broke out, and he couldn't help but shake his head slightly. If this child wants to work hard, let her work hard. So what about the starry sky level? In today's yin-yang sect, the starry sky level is nothing. Even my venerable level, isn't it said that others don't admire me? Biha sighed helplessly. In fact, this is the case. The current reputation and status of the yin-yang sect are unbelievable. None of the 3 disciples reached the semi-star level. Even if Ryan used the magic weapon of the yin-yang sect and showed his face in the starry sky, this could not hide the fact that the 3 of them were not strong enough. As a result, there are really many people who anonymously post similar remarks online, saying that none of the 3 brothers are good enough to be yin-yang's disciples. Boom. When Biha was worried and thinking about all the messy things, an earth-shattering light shone from the top of the mountain. Huh? Is this how you live? Biha felt the power there, and a smile appeared on his face. That's right, little Billy became a star. This great disciple's improvement speed is unbelievable. Although most of the credit for this must go to Master Jia Yan, having a master is also a kind of strength, so Billy's improvement the speed reached the jaw-dropping 2-month impact on the starry sky level. This was a speed that even Jia Yan had not reached at the beginning. Thank you, Master. At the top of the mountain, Billy knelt down and kowtowed vigorously to the yin-yang standing in front of her, that is, the old turtle-like creature. It doesn't have to be like this. You can do this because you have perseverance. But the strength after the starry sky level is not that simple. It is difficult to make you improve too much by trying to encourage others. Where you should go next depends on you. Jia Yan nodded lightly, and then said in a vague way that it would be difficult for Billy to improve her strength like this. Master, I understand. I will apply for a mission to go out and experience it. Now that Billy has reached the starry sky level, she can be considered a small powerhouse in the interstellar world. Now her mentality and entire mental outlook have changed. Well, you can consider these things yourself, but if you encounter trouble when you go out, remember that you are a disciple of the yin-yang sect and cannot lose the dignity of this sect, so you can go out. Yes. Billy flew out of the top of the mountain, her star-level strength not being concealed at all along the way, and she couldn't conceal it even if she wanted to. After all, she had just been promoted and it was difficult for her to completely control her aura. Wow, has that great disciple of the yin-yang sect, Ms. Billy, actually reached the starry sky level? It's so fast. It is said that Master Billy has only been practicing for 2 months, and she has already reached the starry sky level. Is this the reason why Master Yin Yang asked her to become his disciple? All the people were shocked by Billy's promotion. It took 2 months to reach the starry sky level. This achievement is considered extremely fast even in the central star field of the Milky Way, comparable to the talented disciples of some major sects. Of course, there is no way to compare with real geniuses, because some races are born with starry sky level. Anyway, in such a small starry sky, no one would know that she was the master she relied on, so everyone thought that senior sister Billy, who had reached the starry sky level in 2 months, was a genius. But after reaching the starry sky level, Billy will have far fewer places to rely on external forces, especially since she is not an evolved beast like Jia Yan and cannot swallow the power of the outside world to increase her strength, so her progress will be slower, so it will be very difficult for her to maintain her reputation as a genius disciple. Oh, this kid. Jia Yan saw his own shadow in Billy, and also saw the shadow of his son, both of whom were so stubborn. Maybe when he accepted her as his disciple, he actually saw similarities between her and himself. The decision I made at that time has almost been forgotten now. Well, no matter what happens to Billy, I have other things to do next. That is to welcome Ryan back in triumph and the large amount of supplies he brought. Jia Yan put aside Billy's matter. After all, it was not the center of his life. What he needed on the right path was to repair his injuries and improve his strength. After the last batch of supplies arrives, I will be able to quickly repair my body, almost to the point of fully recovering from my injuries. Then, there will be a relatively long process of improving my strength. Jia Yan knew that after he repaired his injuries, he could directly improve his strength, because he had learned a lot from the last battle with a group of mid-level peak beings in the galaxy, and he also saw many directions for the future from so many strong people. In this case, his savings and foundation are sufficient, so he can directly improve. The only question is whether the materials in this starry sky are enough to support my promotion, or whether I will make the people miserable. If that happens, I will feel a little sorry. In other words, the strength of the Yin-Yang sect will continue to improve. External expansion. Jia Yan is thinking about the future. The expansion of the Yin-Yang sect is certain, but he is considering whether to expand directly or wait for a while. The problem is that if he waits and his strength recovers, he will need a lot of supplies. If he only relies on such a small area, the people in this area will definitely feel the horror of a galaxy-level devouring supplies, and they will do something. Everyone is in dire straits. In this starry sky, except for attacking certain forces, the Yin-Yang sect has always left a better impression on the people than her sister. Jia Yan has always wanted the Yin-Yang sect to have a healthy development, so he didn't want to leave the people with the impression that the Yin-Yang sect, like those forces, was the kind of bully in the fish and meat township. In this case, there is only one way, and that is to continue to expand. Jia Yan was extremely helpless. Boom boom boom. In the starry sky, a large number of battleships were flying in the sky. This is a huge fleet with 5,000 to 6,000 warships. The leader of this fleet is none other than Ryan, a disciple of the Yin-Yang sect who went out to conquer the outer starry sky. At this moment, he already has the majesty of a superior. After all, he has always been the spokesperson of a big power. He wants to be without majesty. No. But now, as the huge fleet he leads is about to reach the land of Yin-Yang star, this disciple who has always been in a relatively high position has become extremely nervous. Look, the clothes I'm wearing are a little crooked. Look at the fleet on our back. Which one has some planning problems? He is the only one I can ask. Half-star level over there, why do you radiate your strength so much? Do you want to attract my master's attention? Speaking of balance, do you understand balance? This time our return must be beautiful, and it's not about looking after yourself. Ryan was giving pointers to all the fleet members along the way. Compared to the 5,000 or 6,000 battleships, he was even more afraid of the asteroid that was about to arrive. Because on this planet, there is a powerful man that their entire fleet admires and fears, the master of Yin-Yang sect, Yin-Yang himself. Even now, no one knows how strong this Yin-Yang sect leader is, but everyone knows that if he really wants to take action, this fleet is not enough to kill him. The 5,000 to 6,000 warships were probably unprecedentedly large in this land of stars. But with such a huge fleet, when they were about to reach Yin-Yang star, everyone became extremely nervous. We're here, and we'll see the Yin-Yang star right away. That's Yin-Yang star. Everyone, get ready. I'm the only one asking who made the mistake. Suddenly, the whole atmosphere became extremely tense. Reborn as an interstellar giant mosquito. Author, Bulletin U. Chapter 2071. This huge surrender fleet, or rather a fleet composed of the best warships selected by surrendering forces from all over the world, will finally arrive at Yin-Yang star today, ready to express their determination and submission to Yin-Yang sect. This is destined to be an extremely grand event. But no one expected that at this unprecedented and grand occasion. There was an earth-shattering huge figure, slowly, seemingly unpleasantly, but actually very quickly, approaching the starry sky filled with asteroids. Next to this figure, there is another person who seems to be not as strong as him, but also has the high-level strength of a star. Damn it, that Zuulin was a chess piece I planted in this starry sky. The one who planned to extend his tentacles of power here in the future is actually dead. Who would pick the peach I arranged? It's simply unreasonable. Your Majesty, I happen to be no longer in this starry sky. If not, if I were still here, I would definitely be able to secretly help the two Zuulin people. They may not know until their death that the so-called backers behind them are all he must be alone, alas. The huge creature had an expression of gnashing teeth, while the high-level stellar creature next to him was extremely flattering. It turns out that this star-level creature is the territory lord of the first star-level powerhouse that Ryan and the others attacked. And what surprises everyone is that this star-level creature is not a person publicly known to the outside world. It is only a middle-level star, but has reached a high-level star. The meaning of his words will also shock others. It turns out that in the seemingly chaotic starry sky, the three major star-level creatures actually have backers behind them. Moreover, Zuulin and another dead star-level creature may not know that the mysterious backers behind them are actually there. It was the same creature, the huge powerful man that flew over. As for the high-level creatures in the stars, they should know the identity of this huge creature. However, within his future own power at that time, according to his own words, it was the luck of the yin-yang sect, but in fact, only he knew what he was thinking in his heart. You don't have to blame yourself. Those two idiots went to trouble the yin-yang sect on their own. If they die, it will only be their own misfortune. They don't know what they are thinking. If the yin-yang sect dares to act like that, there will definitely be someone to deal with them. Ability, you actually think you can win if you join forces. The huge creature comforted the high-level star expert beside him, and then snorted coldly. But who is the so-called yin-yang sect? You don't know that there is a galaxy level behind that starry sky? You don't even understand this, so you dare to come here and run wild. It seems that I have to learn what it means. I am the master of the yin-yang section. If he is willing to become my subordinate, it does not mean that I cannot give him a certain status, but if not, the future starry sky will be left to you to take care of. Facing the entrustment of the huge creature, the high-level star creature next to him showed a smile, and quickly agreed happily, yes, I will definitely think of you with all your heart, even if I die. It turned out that the huge creature was a powerful man who had reached the primary level of the galaxy. Under his guidance, the high-level star creature beside him flew with him from the outer starry sky into the starry sky full of asteroids at a very fast speed. Thank you, Master, for your cultivation. Without your help, Master, we would have died long ago. All the credit for this must be attributed to Master. And inside the asteroid land, above the bustling outer space of the yin-yang star, a large number of warships arrived. Jia Yan transformed into the turtle yin-yang and soared into the sky to welcome these victorious warriors. Oh, or it shouldn't be said to be a return, because among these battleships, except for the first few hundred ships, most of them are actually battleships from other forces that have surrendered from the outside world. Now they have joined the yin-yang sect, so they came here. In the starry sky, he is ready to show his loyalty to his future master. Of course, this kind of thing would not be said openly. As far as Jia Yan is concerned, he has to use the word return, otherwise it will chill people's hearts. Exactly, without the help of the sect master, we would never come back again. I would like to see the sect master today. Thank you so much, sect master. On the other side, the half-star creature followed Ryan's words and said the above words in the same flattering manner. The surrounding group of semi-stars numbered at least 20, and among them were some whose strength reached the pinnacle of half-stars, but they could only be one by one, gritting their teeth as they looked at this half-star creature. Loyal, not even daring to interrupt. Because they had just surrendered, and it was their first meeting with the master of the yin-yang sect, so there was no way they could say anything similar. Well, you've done a great job, and you have a promising future. Thank you, Lord Sect Master, for your love. The half-star was so happy that he stopped talking. After all, he also had to know some etiquette. This way of interjecting a sentence would not make people too unhappy. If you and he keep interrupting, Jia Yan may be unhappy with it. His senses are not good. At the same time, he was looking at the other half-stars around him quite proudly, and he didn't know how proud he was in his heart. You are also half-star level, and most of your abilities are better than mine, but are your qualifications as high as mine? Haha, although I am also a surrenderer, but I surrendered a few days ago, my status is higher, and I got the answer from the Yin and Yang sect just now. I feel like I have a death-free gold medal. Who wants to kill me in the future? I used the words Yin-Yang sect master to suppress the other party, and I won. Ha ha ha. This half-star, during the days of acting with Ryan, finally realized that in the entire Yin-Yang sect, the most terrifying person, and the person who most needs his efforts to please, is the Yin-Yang master in front of him. If he succeeds in currying favor, not to mention becoming an equal figure with several major disciples, but just saying that he can get a few good words from Yin-Yang sect master, then he will have immortal merit in the future. Except for Yin-Yang sect master himself, no one else wants to touch him. You have to think about it. After all, this is an existence that has spoken to the sect leader. As for the future development of Yin-Yang sect, he is absolutely optimistic. You know, the Yin-Yang sect master just gave him his magic weapon and killed 2 stars. So, is his own strength the peak of stars? No one has doubted this point. If it is not even the pinnacle of a star, how can the Yin-Yang sect be able to use its own magic weapon to kill a star-level existence from a long distance? Of course, no one, including this semi-star, including Ryan, Biha, Billy and other close people, thought about the idea that Jia Yan would be a star. After all, the galaxy class is the overlord to this starry sky. Especially the creatures above the middle level of the galaxy, they are definitely the overlords among the overlords. It is said that in this starry sky, there are only a few existences of the middle level of the galaxy, and they dominate the entire star field. And even if they are not in the middle level of galaxy, there are not many adults in the first level of galaxy. Each of them occupies a vast territory. It seems that even the galaxy-level existence has never been to this small planet area. Therefore, the idea that Jia Yan is a galaxy-level person has never risen to the level of anyone. Then he was able to kill 2 stars, and he was so clean and tidy, so his strength was fixed at the top of the stars. Everyone thinks that their guess is almost accurate. And when everyone guessed this, and the entire huge welcoming ceremony was still in progress, Jia Yan, who was welcoming the large fleet, was slightly startled. His turtle clone began to frown. There is such a being here. Will such a small place attract stars? Jia Yan's true form has already sensed that a galaxy-level being has arrived in such a small patch of starry sky. Don't think that the perception range of galaxy-level beings cannot reach that far. In fact, although Jia Yan is indeed unable to detect traces of the outside world within hundreds of millions of kilometers, especially weak creatures and small changes, he simply cannot. It may be discovered that as a Zing level, he has a mysterious feeling towards the Zing level of the same strength. Unless the other party deliberately conceals his aura, both parties are at the galaxy level and can sense each other from a long distance. However, unlike the opponent's release of strength, Jia Yan did not release the slightest breath, so he unilaterally sensed the opponent, but the opponent did not sense Jia Yan. Hey, a galaxy-level guy, since he's here, I'll go meet him. Jia Yan sneered. This coming galaxy level must be coming for him. It's just that the other party probably never thought that he, the leader of Yin-Yang sect, is not a star level at all, not even a strong person in the first level of the galaxy, but a powerful being who has reached the middle level of the galaxy. After Jia Yan left, he didn't despise the enemy too much. In the galaxy level, everyone has their own unique skills and strength. Even if a very powerful person is defeated by the unique skills of a being who is several levels weaker than him, unexpected situations will occur. Of course, accidents are like miracles, but they don't happen that easily. Therefore, although Jia Yan pays more attention to this galaxy class than he does to other star classes in this starry sky, he does not have the dignified attitude of an enemy of life and death. And I have always heard that the local primary level creatures in this star field are incredibly weak. The primary level beings from the outside world can easily crush the primary level creatures here. How weak are they? I'll just take a look. Jia Yan smiled, and then he thought of something fun. Buzz buzz. Inside the subspace, several figures flew out of the Aditya and moved towards the subspace. These are several clones of Jia Yan. At this moment, he actually did not use his real body, but let several clones move away together. This is what Jia Yan wants to test. As for my clones, they have improved to a certain extent recently due to the improvement of their own strength. Especially the strength of several major clones joining forces to fight against the enemy is much stronger than before. If these clones form a team, I guess if he can have a little fight with a creature at the pinnacle of a star, and even if he performs well, even the weakest among the weakest of the weakest in the galaxy will have a chance to draw. So, can he draw with these clones of mine? As for whether there are any other strong men around him, there probably aren't any. Even if there are a few star-level ones, they probably won't have any impact on the overall situation. Jia Yan had a clear understanding of the visitors over there, and then a smile appeared in his heart. He does not intend to directly engage in friction or enmity with the powerful people in this starry sky. But it was impossible to give in. Especially after spending so much effort to capture this piece of starry sky, Jia Yan would never give it up easily. If you want him to get out, you must at least come to the top of the middle-level galaxy. The strong men below that, including other middle-level creatures in the galaxy, can't let him leave here voluntarily. In the starry sky, that huge creature led the high-level stellar experts around him to move in the twisted space at a bizarre speed. This is where a galaxy-level person is so powerful. Even if they don't have subspace talent, they don't have any powerful methods of traveling. But when they reach the galaxy level, they will develop similar methods of traveling on their own. They can't be said to be faster than Jia Yan, but they are not as fast as Jia Yan. For ordinary battleships, it's not much worse. Especially at short distances and on the road, it is really convenient. Of course, the short distance mentioned here is for space creatures. This is also 1 or 2 light years. For people on Earth in the past, 1 or 2 light years would be a bit despairing. Tell me, are you, the master of the Yin-Yang sect? Is it possible that he is a disciple of some big force and has come to our star field to look for resources? Because from the intelligence, it seems that he has been searching for resources urgently. The galaxy-level being suddenly asked the stellar high-level creature while traveling. Ah, sir, I don't understand either, but according to what you said, it seems that it really means something like this. He feels like he doesn't want to disturb too many locals, but if you count the number, it's very exaggerated and has reached a level that is unacceptable to the locals. I don't know why these natives are still so loyal to him at this point, alas. You don't understand this. He mainly drew a big pie for these farmers and the like. The emergence of Yin and Yang Dao, as well as the emergence of those joint fighting methods, can instantly enhance their strength. With such a big everyone thinks they have a chance to become masters, and with these big cakes, even if the Yin-Yang sect does something, everyone will probably turn a blind eye. The primary creature in the galaxy sneered, as if he had seen through the trick the Yin-Yang sect was playing. But what I'm most worried about is whether the Yin-Yang sect is the sect's tentacles of some big outside force. If so, I can't take action against them. After all, It's impossible for big forces to offend us in our star field. The only thing we can do is educate them and drive them away. Please remember the first domain name of this book. Reborn as an Interstellar Giant Mosquito. Author, Bulletin U. Chapter 2072. Well, are those big forces so scary? Sir, you are already a galaxy-level creature. In this galaxy, you are considered the most advanced creature. Why do you need to be afraid of them? Haha, kid, let me tell you, although the galaxy level is all galaxy level, the water inside is much deeper than you think. Well, it's useless to tell you this. Wait until you work hard to practice on your own. After reaching the galaxy level, you will understand what I am saying. Now I just want to see what the so-called yin and yang dao of the yin-yang sect, or what their joint tactics are like, so that I can judge what is behind the opponent's back. Is there a sect now? A star-level star was chatting enthusiastically with the star-level star next to him. Boom. Suddenly, an earth-shaking explosion sounded like flying from the subspace in front of the two of them. Careful. Huh. Who? The galaxy-level being quickly used his galaxy-level brainwave power to block the explosion inside the subspace at the same time as the explosion. Then, he questioned in an extremely cold voice. 2 seconds before the explosion occurred in the subspace, he vaguely felt that something was wrong in the subspace. However, because there are many things that were wrong in the subspace in the universe, most of which were due to natural causes, he did not go to investigate. Something like that, but now when he felt that this power actually exploded, he understood that this was not a natural cause, but because someone was causing trouble. Since someone dares to intercept the galaxy-level existence. Or is it that the creatures in the space this time don't know that he is a galaxy-level? No, subspace, it seems that the master of the yin-yang sect is a genius in the subspace. His brain analysis ability is extremely fast, and he has already thought of who the visitor is. Yes, it was Jia Yan's clones who came. Some of these clones are bird-like creatures, some are like monkeys, and one is like a squirrel, with a furry body. A total of 4 clones showed a very skillful sense of cooperation, and instantly rushed out of the subspace, and surrounded the incoming primary being of the galaxy. Huh? This is 4 stars. No, what's so weird about saying it's a star? Why are there such creatures in this starry sky? The expression of the galaxy-level powerhouse suddenly turned cold. But after seeing clearly who was coming, his expression changed again. Especially after seeing that none of the coming creatures reached the strength of the lower-level stars, I felt a bit dumbfounded. He felt that these were probably people who didn't know his strength. If they knew he was a Xi-level person with just a few star-level ones, how could he dare to show his face? Are you from the yin-yang sect? He found that there was no star-level being among these faces. He was suddenly curious about the shadow of yin and yang he described. That yin-yang is quite capable, and he actually has 4 stars as his subordinates. You know, in his power base in the distant starry sky, he only has 30 or 40 stars as his subordinates. Of course, he did not bring his astral level subordinates here this time because he felt that they were not needed. If he could not settle the commotion here with his own Xi-level subordinates, it would be useless to bring those subordinates here. Besides, there was no need for so many people here. Many people came to cause trouble, but he just came here as a tourist. So after seeing that yin-yang, a star-level powerhouse, actually has star-level subordinates, and having so many, I felt that there was something about that creature. Even this galaxy-level being was startled by a group of creatures emerging from the subspace in front of him. The high-level star creature was naturally even more frightened and screamed repeatedly. He is a native creature in this relatively peaceful star field, and is not very skilled in fighting. Moreover, it is an enemy in subspace. This is really the first time he has encountered it. So after he was startled, he kept shouting, but when he heard the words of his galaxy-level master, his face suddenly turned red. He gritted his teeth as he looked at the 4 creatures filing out of the subspace in front of him, and found that there were only 4 of them. They were probably not as strong as him at the star level. He felt embarrassed in front of the star level adults, and he gritted his teeth. "Who are you 4 bastards? Are you actually blocking my master's way? Do you know that my master is a galaxy level?" The 4 clones did not answer the words of the 2 intruders, but after leaving the subspace, they showed an encircling posture, directly surrounding the 2 creatures. "Still want to surround you? Are these 4 fools?" The star's high-level creature was dumbfounded. Seeing a galaxy-level existence, you don't want to escape but you still want to surround him? What is this if not a fool? The adults behind him were of the galaxy level. They saw the most terrifying and astonishing creatures in this universe and they actually refused to escape and instead surrounded them. Interesting. The galaxy-level creature was slightly startled when several star-level powerhouses surrounded him, and then showed a smile. He has not yet seen that these 4 major creatures are the clones of some powerful people. This shows that he is only at an average level among the primary powerful people in this galaxy and does not have any powerful actual combat abilities. So he only thought that these 4 stellar powerhouses were the ones with some brain problems. In fact, there is no shortage of similar strong people in the starry sky. Each strong person has his own reasons for practicing. In the process, it can be said that everyone is a little obsessed, but for some strong people, the obsession goes astray. Road, it's like there's something wrong with your head. Such as loyalty, the desire to kill, and the fiery temper. In short, many of these creatures make themselves look like humans or ghosts, and dare to attack anyone they see. The creature in front of me must be such a creature, I don't know what kind of creature it is. What do you want from the yin-yang sect? Among the 4 major creatures, the monkey-like creature surrounded the 2 major creatures from all directions and asked coldly. "Oh, he can actually talk. I thought he couldn't communicate." The galaxy-level creature smiled instantly, and then his face became even colder. "Since you have the ability to speak independently, you should know what kind of existence you have blocked the way. The majesty of the strong is not allowed to be trampled. If you are wise, get out of here now. I may be able to spare your life." This galaxy-level creature actually wants to recover these 4 major creatures for his own use, because such creatures are actually difficult to find. Generally speaking, creatures with brain problems, after being recovered, are better than ordinary subordinates. Much more loyal. "Your Excellency, it's not that we don't have the ability to communicate. If possible, we don't want to fight with a galaxy-level powerhouse. So, please explain clearly, why do you come to our yin-yang sect?" It's that monkey-like creature again, asking questions. Jia Yan didn't want to say that these were all his clones. After all, he was not completely sure of using his clones to fight against a galaxy-level person. If the opponent escaped, he knew that there was someone in the yin-yang sect here who could. Everyone knows that a galaxy-level powerhouse who releases such a powerful clone is a mid-level galaxy-level being. The intermediate galaxy and the elementary galaxy are also completely different. It doesn't matter if others know that there is an elementary galaxy here, but knowing that there is a strong intermediate galaxy here will have a huge impact. So he is still pretending to be so disrespectful. "You know, my master is." When the star-level creature saw that the 4 star-level creatures were so disrespectful to his own master, his expression suddenly became ferocious again, and he wanted to explode with all his might. "Shut up," it was the elementary creature of the galaxy level who shouted in shock, stopping him. "4 of you, are you also from the yin-yang sect? Very good. I came to the yin-yang sect this time. I originally wanted to avenge my stellar subordinates and then destroy the yin-yang section. Now look, come on, your yin-yang sect is still somewhat capable. Let's do this. If the 4 of you are willing to take refuge with me, I will consider letting the yin-yang sect go. I will just ask your sect to pay me a certain amount of resources every year. What do you think? This galaxy-level creature is very confident in what he says. After all, he, a galaxy-level powerhouse, had made such a concession. How could the 4-star level creatures in front of him refuse? This is the kindness of a galaxy-level being. How could they, and how dare they? Anyway, although he has interests in this area, it is definitely not very big. Even if he fights back this time, he will just leave it to the high-level stellar creatures around him. It is not given to anyone. The yin-yang sect is interesting, so why not cultivate it? It's also fun to become another invisible subordinate force of yourself. Well, the connotation of his words, the high-level star next to him also figured it out in an instant. His expression changed slightly, and then he sighed again. Of course he knew, how could a galaxy-level being really see a creature like him as seeing everything as just profit? Before coming, he had also thought about the problem that his master had taken over the yin-yang sect and then he was marginalized, but he always felt that he was a subordinate who used him well, and this master would not treat him casually. Just abandon it? But looking at it now, the galaxy level is the galaxy level. For a star level, he will not take into account any issues such as human feelings at all. Although he is a high-level star creature, nominally, he is only 1 or 2 steps away from the galaxy, but everyone knows that such a small distance is completely within the natural chasm. If he doesn't step forward, he will always be in front of the galaxy level, and there will be no chance of him raising his head. Damn yin-yang sect, surrender if you can. After surrendering, you will also experience my feelings. In front of the galaxy level, I always feel like an ant. This high-level stellar creature thought so viciously. However, words soon rang out that shocked him and the galaxy-level adults around him. Pay tribute? I'm sorry, our yin-yang sect has no intention of paying tribute to any force. If you insist on this idea, then I'm sorry, we will only have one battle. The monkey-like creature suddenly responded sternly to the words of the galaxy-level being. Huh? A battle? Even the galaxy-level beings were stunned for a moment at this moment. He was a little dumbfounded. Is it because his temper is too good, or because his words are not intimidating, so he was rejected like this by a group of star-level beings? Okay, I take back what I said before. Originally, I thought you guys were quite interesting. Harvesting your own subordinates would have some good prospects for your subordinates. But now, looking at it, you are basically useless. Woodhead, harvesting your own subordinates is definitely troublesome. Now even if you want to be my subordinates, I don't want them anymore. This Zinc level finally laughed ferociously. At the same time, the brainwave power around him expanded, boiled, and roared in an instant. The rage of galaxy-level creatures is beyond the imagination of ordinary creatures, and even their emotions can cause abnormal phenomena in large swaths of the starry sky. It would have been fine if it had been like this. It was just a beating, so why bother talking? The stellar-level monkey-like creature actually added fuel to the fire again and spoke words that seemed to look down on this galaxy-level being. Now, even a clay figure is about to explode. Haha, very good, that's right, the fight is over. I actually want unreasonable creatures like you to be my subordinates. I apologize for my stupidity just now. Yes, you are quite stupid. The monkey creature suddenly became extremely venomous. Ah! Damn it! The galaxy-level powerhouse was so furious that he exploded the power he had been brewing in an instant. Especially when he aimed at this monkey-like star-level powerhouse, he felt that he had to kill this guy with one blow. Otherwise it will be difficult to understand the hatred in his heart. Bang! A terrifying force exploded in the space between the stars. Haha, you guys actually angered a galaxy-level powerhouse. You are really asking for your own death. Look at the strength of a galaxy-level being. That star-level creature, when his master took action, seemed to be seeing an idol that he admired, and he was extremely excited. Even though he was a little unhappy with how this idol looked down on him, the creatures in the universe all worshipped power, especially the galactic level power, which was so dizzying that he naturally wouldn't care about it anymore. No matter what the side story is, I just want to watch how this adult kills the 4 unreasonable star-level creatures in front of him. Buzz. But something unbelievable happened. Facing the power of a galaxy-level being, the 4 star-level creatures, as if they had practiced it countless times, instantly exploded with heart-stopping energy. Although this energy is not yet at the galaxy level, it is at least the mid-level star. What's even more surprising is that these 4 forces, surrounded by all directions, joined together, and in an instant, they came in front of this galaxy-level released force. Please remember the first domain name of this book. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Reborn as an interstellar giant mosquito. Author, Bulletin U. Chapter 2073. Is it the skill of joining forces? There is also this power, the power of the 4-in-1, which is actually about the same strength, resulting in an increase in the strength of the joint effort, and even a faint feeling of positive and negative. It's amazing. But the Stellar class dares to fight against the Galaxy class. You 4 have probably never experienced despair, right? The Galaxy-level being saw the clones of the 4 great Jiayan. After the 4-in-1 power was united, they stood in front of the brainwave power he released, and he sneered disdainfully. He has seen a lot of this kind of star-level people who have no self-awareness in his life. Some of them are too arrogant. They actually think that they can deal with a galaxy-level powerhouse. This shows that they are too ignorant about power. The 4 star-level powerhouses in front of them must be similar existences. Since you have such grand ambitions, let me show you what despair means. This galaxy-level powerhouse suddenly showed a cold and ruthless look in his eyes. Boom boom boom. The energy he poured towards the monkey-like star-level clone became even more amazing in an instant. After that, without giving others much time, the collision of these 2 extreme forces happened quickly. Humph, it's over. This galaxy-level powerhouse is extremely confident in his own strength. At least he cannot resist the 4 mere star-level powerhouses in front of him. Click, click, click. Haha, these 4 guys are dead. The star-level subordinate creature was also extremely vicious at this moment, looking at the scene in front of him. He knew that his own strength could not withstand the combined efforts of 4 guys, so he could only be insulted by these 4 star-level beings just now, but the galaxy-level master beside him was killed by 1 blow. It gave him a strong sense of satisfaction, because this adult could easily do what he couldn't do. Death, if these 4 guys die in 1 blow, will Yin Yang be so scared that he will pee right away? He began to worry about whether Yin Yang was going to escape at this moment. If so, he had to be on guard to avoid escaping, and when he took over the starry sky, Yin Yang would come back to cause trouble for him. Although he didn't know what the strength of Yin Yang was, he could vaguely guess through these 4 star-level experts that Yin Yang was probably much stronger than him, so he didn't want to take risks. Of course, during the battle, there was no time for him to think too much. When he was thinking about these crooked things, the results of the battle between the 4 stars and the brainwave power of the adults around him were also revealed. Puff. Under the personal attention of a galaxy-level and a star-level being, the star-level positive and negative forces that the 4 star-level beings jointly erupted were like annihilation, and the brainwave power of this galaxy-level being, they made contact for an instant, and then collided. In the end, no one overpowered the other. Suddenly, they became balanced and disappeared into the starry sky. This rumble. Above the starry sky, there was still an extremely violent explosion, but the Galaxy class was completely shocked. Your Excellency, it seems that your galaxy-level strength is a bit weak. You can't even break through the combined moves of our 4-star level ones. The monkey-like creature smiled instantly. The other 3-star level beings have not spoken to each other until now, because after speaking, I am afraid that this galaxy-level being will be able to judge from the intensity of the brainwave power that they are actually the same strong person. Doppelganger. It's impossible. I don't believe it. How can a mere 4-star levels resist my power? I don't believe it. This zinc level had an expression of extreme astonishment in his eyes. Even he was like this, and the star next to him was even more shocked. How is this possible? Your lord's blow was actually blocked by these 4-star level creatures. No, no. If they were star level creatures, there would still be a possibility, but they are only mid-level star powers. That's all. Could it be that they have any possibility of concealing their strength? This star level was more shocking than the master around him, and he was more resentful towards the 4-star level creatures, because he himself was a high-level star level creature, and he considered himself to be inferior to the several big star level creatures in front of him. All star level players must be more powerful, but the fact made him a little angry. The 4-star level players joined forces and actually blocked the attack of the trump card around him. Doesn't this mean that his strength is inferior to are these 4 stellar powerhouses simply not enough? This is not okay. Strong people can accept that beings who are stronger than themselves are stronger than themselves, but they cannot accept the fact that strong people who are weaker than them can resist the extremely strong ones, because then their dignity will disappear. It was as if their practice had no meaning. So he was ferociously expecting that those 4 major creatures would be wiped out by his master with one blow. Humph. He does have some tricks up his sleeve. The galaxy level was shocked in his heart, but without any hesitation, he directly burst out his next wave of power, and quickly rushed his strength to the main core figure of the 4-star level alliances, that a monkey-like creature. Every joint strategy has a core key point. For him, if such a core key figure is killed, then the 4-star level joint efforts will be self-defeating. Although he knows that he can definitely kill these 4 existences with one blow, after all, the galaxy level exists, and he doesn't care about a little face issue. Finding weak points to attack seems a bit less handsome, but at least in this way, you can also save a certain amount of strength. Attacking this clone? Do you think this is the main force? Haha. However, the other party obviously didn't know that the 4-star level existences in front of him were just clones of a strong man. Since they were clones, their power could be converted at any time. Buzz. In an instant, the main power of the 4-star level creatures was transformed into another creature. The monkey creature resisted the power of this galaxy level creature with all its strength. The other 3 were responsible for removing the strength of this strong man, instantly causing this strong man to be destroyed. Most of the strength was dissolved. What? The galaxy-level powerhouse suddenly became shocked. The combat power of the previous 4-star level entities only made him slightly shocked. At this moment, he instantly realized that there was definitely something wrong with the 4 existences in front of him. What the hell are you for? They retreated one after another, their expressions full of solemnity and vigilance. Huh? These 4 guys. The star-level subordinate also followed and retreated, with an expression of complete shock. Those cruel words I said before can no longer be said. Because he understood that the 4 powerful stars in front of him were definitely not something he could handle. These 4 guys are so weird. Buzz buzz. The 4-star level stars have just neutralized the brainwave power of the galaxy-level powerhouses. The entire starry sky is filled with earth-shattering oscillations caused by them and the galaxy-level powerhouses. What's wrong? You two, didn't you want the 4 of us to die? Why didn't you do it again? The monkey-like creature continued to speak. What kind of creatures are you guys? What's going on with this strength? That galaxy-level powerhouse is a galaxy level after all. Although his expression is solemn, he has no intention of retreating at all. No matter what he says, he is still a galaxy level. Even if he sees the extremely ferocious star level existence, he still has no intention of retreating. There could be no panic. It was just that the situation was a bit confusing for him, so he backed off a little. The four of us? Haha, Your Excellency, the four of us are yin-yang sect creatures. Haven't you guessed this by now? Then I have doubts about the wisdom of the galaxy level. Such a simple thing, I haven't guessed it yet. You. The expression of the galaxy level powerhouse suddenly changed, and he was about to be furious. But he quickly suppressed his emotions, because the monkey creature was obviously irritating him, and if he was attacked, it would only make the other party succeed. Four of you, your yin-yang sect really has such strength. Is it even possible that you are a star like you? So how is your sect's yin-yang strength? He asked slowly and calmly. The four star-level creatures opposite this powerful man, namely Jia Yan himself, were slightly startled, and then smiled. He knew that this guy was a little timid. It's not that these four star-level stars scare the other party, but since these four subordinate star-level stars have such strength, what about the rumored yin-yang? Although the outside world has always circulated that yin and yang are the peak of stars, but this galaxy level is not a fool. Can the existence of such a group of stellar-level powerful people be a star? If it was the galaxy level, then his trip was really a bit dangerous. After all, it was the galaxy, and the weakest one was close to his strength. If it were added to the four-star levels in front of him, he doubted that he could go back today. Yes, Your Excellency, we are the four stars of the yin-yang section. As for the strength of our sect masters, if you are interested, you can go to our sect and see for yourself. Galaxy. The galaxy level being asked with some uncertainty. None of the four-star level powerhouses responded positively. This was an attitude. If he responded positively, then the outside world would also think that he was zinc, and his idea of hiding his strength would be out of the question. This ambiguous state is the best way for Jia Yan. At least the enemy who comes will become cautious, and at least it will take a certain amount of time to investigate his strength. For him, such time is also extremely valuable and can buy you a lot of time to improve your strength. Damn it, you did me a lot of harm. The galaxy level being turned his attention to the star level strongman beside him, because this guy had harmed him. He doesn't want to cause friction with any galaxy class. After all, he is a galaxy class in this starry sky, and his strength belongs to the lowest level among the galaxy classes. If he conflicts with a galaxy class, he will only end up with two consequences. One was a draw and the other was defeated. The star-level existence beside him swore to him that there was only one star-level person in the yin-yang sect, and that was the sect leader. But now, when he attacked this place, he discovered that there were such terrifying four galaxies in this section. Judging from the other party's attitude, the strength of the leader of the sect was probably still a galactic level. How could he attack again? Can't fight at all? This, sir, I don't know either. The star-level existence was also extremely shocked at this time. He had never thought that this small yin-yang sect had such strength. Your Excellency, do you want to continue fighting with us, or are you ready to give up? If you are ready to give up, then we hope that the Excellency beside you can be left to our disposal. After all, there must be someone who can do it for you. Take responsibility for this battle. Suddenly, the monkey-like creature among the four stars in front of the two invaders spoke. Ah! The star-level powerhouses next to the zinc level were suddenly shocked. He didn't expect that even if the other party was not attacked by his own master, he would actually make such a request. My lord shouldn't agree, right? This is a direct slap in the face. This. For a galaxy-level being, the anger in his heart cannot be concealed, but the more the other party's attitude is like this, the more he feels that the other party has confidence behind him, and the more he feels that the master of the yin-yang sect will be a creature that has reached the galaxy level. Of course, he didn't actually think it was wrong. In this way, he was even more afraid to take action. "You bastard, how can my lord be insulted by you and the like? He is a galaxy-level person. How can you, a mere star-level lord, make him bow down?" The star-level powerhouse saw the adults around him constantly looking at him, with ill intentions in his eyes. He instantly felt a coldness rushing straight into his body, making him tremble with fear. He quickly stopped the 4 Jia Yan clones and went to Shiyuan to indirectly tell the adults around him not to give up on him. "Okay, I've made my decision, you don't need to say more." The galaxy-level powerhouse interrupted the subordinate's words. "Yes, my lord will definitely not give up on me. You clowns also want to disrupt the relationship between me and your lord. It is simply wishful thinking." The stellar powerhouse quickly nodded and bowed, feeling that he would not be given up. "Yes, I will definitely not give up on you, but here's the thing. I'm going to the Yin-Yang Star to discuss some matters with the Yin-Yang sect master. You can go with these star-level friends first. Don't worry, I won't give up on you." The galaxy-level existence actually said such words straightforwardly. "Ah, sir. Sir, you can't do this. I am very loyal to you. You can't let us down, sir." When the star-level being heard his master say this, how could he not understand that his master was really ready to give up on him? Suddenly he felt a feeling of panic flooding into his mind, and he quickly begged for mercy. "Don't worry, I will never give up on you, so just wait, I will pick you up right away, don't worry. Please remember the first domain name of this book. Reborn as an Interstellar Giant Mosquito. Author, Bulletin U. Chapter 2074. Don't worry, I will never give up on you, so just wait, I will pick you up right away, don't worry." The eyes of this galaxy-level person gradually turned cold, and the words he spoke were also full of determination. My lord, I have done a lot for you. Sir, you can't do this." Anyone who is not a fool can understand the meaning of what the other party said. The star-level being instantly felt that he had been abandoned, and he quickly begged the galaxy-level being. "Okay, Your Excellency, your leader, has agreed to our request. Are you going to be bound by yourself, or do you want us to take action?" The 4 star-level beings, Jia Yan's clones, approached this star-level subordinate with sneers. And when he turned around to look for support, he saw that the galaxy-level powerhouse next to him had unexpectedly run dozens of kilometers away. No matter what these 4 star-level beings did, he looked on with cold eyes. This is the reality of the universe, because a galaxy-level person, no matter how good his subordinates are, will not be too close to him. Even if he is a star-level person, he will treat a half-star-level person like this, because the weak are the weak and the strong are the strong. You are all bastards. Aren't you just the 4-star mid-level? I will fight with you. A look of absolute despair appeared in the heart of the star-level man, and he finally laughed miserably, and then he suddenly bumped into the 4 powerful star-level men who were approaching. He knew that he might be in trouble today. If I had known better, I would not have tempted a galaxy-level being to participate in this battle. He is just a star-level being. No matter how smart and calculating, what does it mean to a galaxy-level being? But even if he is going to die, he will not be so willing. He will try to see if he can fight against the 4 stars in front of him and kill one of them. Oh! The 4 stellar-level creatures, which were Jia Yan's clones, were slightly startled when they saw that this high-level stellar creature dared to rush towards the 4 of them. But there's nothing surprising, it's just a trapped beast still fighting. Since Your Excellency is willing to hand over this person to me, then we are happy to accept it, and this person actually dares to resist us when he is handed over to me, so can this person's life also be handed over to us. The monkey-like creature, as if it had done something simple and trivial, raised an arm and blocked the attack of the approaching stellar powerhouse. Puff. He is not just using his own strength. For Jia Yan, controlling several clones is actually the same as controlling one clone, so he lets several clones work together so that he can use less energy. Consume points. Seeing this monkey-like creature doing all this so lightly, the galaxy-level being observing the scene felt a sudden surge in his heart, and his eyes became more solemn. Because this proved something else to him, that is, the people of the Yin-Yang sect should not be underestimated at all. Please. He didn't care about his subordinates' feelings at all and just nodded lightly. You bastards, you are all bastards. The star-level powerhouse laughed miserably when he saw that his master behind him didn't even say a word on his behalf. He used all his strength to bombard the monkey-like creature in front of him. Puff. But his attack was blocked again by an arm of the monkey creature. Thank you then. The monkey creature didn't feel any difficulty at all, as if the attacker was not a high-level star being stronger than itself, but a weakling who was one level weaker than itself. He blocked the opponent's attack with his arm again, and then suddenly, the sinister look in his eyes grew. Who? The 4-star level existences seemed to have a sense of spiritual connection. In an instant, they connected with each other and used extremely amazing power together. Boom! At this moment, the galaxy-level creature was finally no longer solemn, but his expression changed drastically and he quickly retreated. Because the 4-star level creatures used a terrifying power that shocked even him in an instant. Bang 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 bang. Above the sky, the positive and negative forces caused a shocking explosion in the starry sky, and then formed a terrifying vacuum collapse, causing an energy turbulence with a radius of 500 to 600 kilometers. When the galaxy-level powerhouse looked at the center of the battlefield, his eyes no longer felt superior, but instead contained a sense of fear. Because of the joint fighting technique of this move, he actually felt a sense of life and death crisis. If the person who was attacked just now was himself, he was not sure whether his body could withstand this joint attack. Looking at the center of the explosion, there was no sign of his star-level subordinate. There were only a pile of fragments, representing the traces of this once loyal subordinate's existence in the world. Rumble, rumble, rumble. The turbulent flow of energy above the starry sky lasted for more than 10 minutes before slowly dissipating. Your Excellency, you just said that you want to meet me, the master of Yin-Yang sect, right? If you are really interested, we can introduce you to him on your behalf. The 4-star level weapons were like 4 frightening and unsmiling weapons. They approached this galaxy-level being from the center of the battlefield. Ahem, I don't see the need anymore. Your Yin-Yang sect has just taken over such a large territory recently, and Your Excellency, the master of the Yin-Yang sect, must also be very busy. In that case, I'd better not disturb him. By the way, can I ask? Is your sect master more powerful than you joining forces? When this galaxy-level being heard that he wanted to see Yin-Yang, he immediately didn't dare. Because the strength of these 4 stars, in the final blow, actually burst out with more amazing strength than he imagined. This was an unacceptable danger to him, so he felt that it was necessary to keep some distance from that yin and yang, otherwise if these 4-star levels join forces with that yin and yang sect master, wouldn't he really be in danger? Although he felt that if yin-yang was a star, he would be less likely to be dangerous, but at least he was a danger, right? Yes, our sect master is stronger than us. The monkey creature who answered did not hide anything and said it directly. The other party wasn't asking about Jia Yan's strength, so the answer didn't pose much of a problem. Anyway, strong was strong. As for whether he was strong at the star level or at the galaxy level, he didn't say. The specific details depend on this galaxy level being, and you should think about it later. That's good. It seems that your yin-yang sect can protect itself. In fact, I came here this time to see if my neighbors are strong enough to protect themselves. Now that I see it, I don't need to worry. Okay, everyone, no need to send me off, I'll go back by myself. This zinc level is actually a little afraid that the 4-star levels want to send him away, because he can't guarantee whether he can block it if he is attacked by the opponent. Then, Your Excellency, we will not send you off. Please go away. Jia Yan controlled the monkey clone and laughed, his laughter full of disdain. Although the other party understood the meaning of the smile, he dared not speak out in anger. The more he showed that he didn't care about the strength of a star like him, the more he was afraid of the yin-yang section, although he could also see that he might not lose in a battle with the combined strength of these 4 stars, and he might not even have a chance of winning. Small, but he just didn't dare to move. Goodbye. He didn't even dare to say any more, let alone hold the subordinate responsible for his death. Who? Looking at this galaxy-level being, he used his own movement method to instantly enter a place similar to subspace, and fled away like flying. The 4-star level experts here immediately retreated into the subspace behind them. Puff. The feeling of space distortion was felt by that star-level being. It is said that yin and yang are gifted in subspace, and these 4-star levels give me the feeling that they are the clones of one person. Could it be that they are the clones of that yin and yang? But if they are clones, his strength. The galaxy level thought more and more, and felt a chill rushing to the top of his head. Because if such a powerful star level is the clone of yin-yang, then the strength of yin-yang is definitely that of a galaxy level, and may not even be an ordinary galaxy level. When such a strong man comes to this starry sky, I will turn around and tell those few people, and they will definitely pay attention to it. Unfortunately, I don't know his specific strength. Otherwise, I can go to places farther away and fight with those few people. A Supreme Master reported that after all, this yin-yang is not a local strong man in our star field, but we don't know his specific strength, and it is not easy to disturb those adults by looking for evidence. In short, this yin-yang does not seem to have any. If we want to do some tricks in this starry sky, then we can still coexist peacefully with him temporarily, right? He was very depressed. He came here with one of his subordinates, preparing to wipe out all the so-called yin-yang section. However, he did not expect that this yin-yang sect was more terrifying than he imagined. And on this trip, he even lost his stellar subordinate. You must know that a high-level subordinate of a star is also a good combat power for him. Among his subordinates, there are only a few who are at the top of the star. It's really heartbreaking this time, but it's better than meeting that yin and yang. If the other party is stronger than me, I may never come back. He had been thinking about it during the flight, and the more he recalled those star-level creatures, the more he felt that something was fishy. These guys must be confident enough to dare to act like that. This yin-yang sect must be careful, and must be extremely careful. Such a sect will definitely make big moves in the future. This galaxy-level being defined a yin-yang sect. Although he knew that he must be making big moves, he didn't dare to do anything now. Even if he had any ideas, he would go back to the prosperous area where he was and discuss with a group of galaxy-level beings before he could get the answer. On the other side, watching this uninvited guest leave, the 4 stellar powerhouses slowly returned to the land of Yin-Yang Star from the subspace. Jia Yan, who had gathered most of his energy, shook his head slightly in the outer space of Yin-Yang Star. This elementary being in the galaxy is very smart and not impulsive at all. Otherwise, if he really comes to the yin-yang sect, I will find a way to make him disappear halfway. Jia Yan could see that the other party was quite smart, otherwise he would not have chosen to escape just because of the 4 stars. But it doesn't matter if he leaves. Although he is not killed, at least this enchantment operation will make him feel that the yin-yang sect is very mysterious, and he will not dare to act rashly for the time being. Even if he wants to find someone to publicize this threat, and probably because he can't explain my strength clearly, he won't get much support. Of course, there may still be problems in the future, but at least now, I have a certain amount of time. What Jia Yan wants is not to remain anonymous all the time, but to take a certain amount of time to develop properly. When the development is successful, even if the outside world does not want to provoke him, he will come out to do something. Otherwise, what is the purpose of establishing the Yin-Yang sect? The strength of the Yin-Yang sect is still a bit weak. Although there are some semi-star strong men, each of these strong men are just conquered people, and they may not necessarily be united. Well, I happen to have when you have some free time, just accept another disciple. Jia Yan withdrew his gaze from the four major branches and put some of his energy on the Yin and Yang star. At this moment, Yin Yang star was still in a state of rejoicing that Ryan and others had just returned triumphantly. No one knows that far away from the area controlled by the Yin Yang sect, there is a creature coming that will shock the entire starry sky. It's just that this creature was resisted by their Yin Yang sect leader halfway through its arrival. Of course, these are nothing. If anyone knew that the sect master blocked a strong man from coming down, they would definitely not be shocked. After all, for the people of the Yin-Yang sect, everyone can feel the strength of the sect master. It's very mysterious, and absolutely extremely powerful. But they definitely won't understand the extent of this intruder's existential strength. If it were known that the strength of this strong man had reached the galaxy level, it is estimated that every member of the Yin-Yang sect who heard about this would be so shocked that they could not even speak to themselves. Not to mention, the coming galaxy-level powerhouse was actually driven away by his own master. This is definitely something that will shock and surprise all the creatures in the entire starry sky. It's a pity that Jia Yan has no intention of making this matter public, because for him, he absolutely doesn't want people to know the extent of his strength now, because his strength still needs a certain amount of time to quietly increase. To make a big show of it now is inconsistent with his original intention. Listen carefully. In a few days, I will choose another disciple, and this disciple will be selected from among you. You should be prepared. Please remember the first domain name of this book.